Yo, guys, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It is the Sunday Hangout, guys. We are still doing our best to try and get through this whole coronavirus thing and everything. And actually, even since before we actually went online, though, me and Gigi Man were actually talking a little bit about self-isolation, man. So, but we came up with something. So obviously, we'll get into the main topics, but I think this is interesting. The amounts of money people are going to be making from this coronavirus self-isolation thing is crazy. If you think about all those morons who have bought 5 packets of toilet paper, all those morons who have bought 6 packets of sanitizer, well, guys, the sanitizer isn't going to stop it. The virus is airborne. Okay, you can wash your hands for as much as you want. It's airborne. So if you're just in a room with somebody who has it, you can wash your hands all you want. As soon as you just leave it in, you have it. So businesses are making a killing in this period right now. So I mean, Jujiman, what's your conspiracy take on this whole?
Oh yeah, my conspiracy take is I don't think pharmaceutical companies who are responsible, but no, this is just conspiracy. I don't want anyone taking like offense. Yeah, it's this. I don't think they're incentivized to find like a cure because there's a lot of undersupply of all these products, and they can just produce the products and I mean it's like a new money making machine. This
for sure,
but look, I just to clarify, I might be wrong, but I'll probably be wrong, but I don't want anyone to like. It's tough time.
No. But I think look, it's not a case of where people want people to die and the virus, but people are just taking advantage because if you're a company that produces all this kind of stuff, you're going to be like, "Whoa, man, let's just ride through. Let's just ride through and just keep on producing all these face masks." But look, Sean. So how are you dealing with the self-isolation?
Well, I mean, it's terrible, just kind of self-quarantining yourself here. In terms of companies making a profit, at least pharmaceutical companies, there's a lot of companies that are selling hygiene products that are making more profit as well. You look at hand sanitizers, their stock is going to go up, their demand is going to go up. There's a lot of scammers out there that are selling hand sanitizers that aren't associated with a specific corporation, but they're just selling these products for up to $50 to $100 on their website. So what they're doing is they're taking advantage of, the average consumer just on the basis of the fact that there's nothing out there in the shelves, especially toilet paper and paper towels. And this is obviously the U.S. has been a little bit behind because of how Trump handled the whole situation. But now it's beginning to creep up on us. And this is now our whole country in our region, specifically me in California and our counties, we're taking the blunts of the full force of the coronavirus, and we're being affected on all ends. So how I'm handling it, I'm just playing FIFA and listening to your shows. And just trying to stay as busy as I possibly can. And I think the biggest thing people should be doing is when they're isolated is to work out as much as possible.
Oh yeah.
I know you have to exercise.
Like what I do is that because I basically even to today as well, like there's a road just outside of like my apartment, and I just go for a run every morning down. So obviously, like that, like, where I live, there's not that many people around, so I can't really come in contact with that many people. But it's like I have to exercise, and even like I think Schwarzenegger even had like a whole home routine exercise thing that people can follow and stuff, which is cool. But also, what's it called? So before I came here, I was watching an Instagram live, and it was Victor Osimhen and Samuel Chukwueze who were doing like an Instagram live, and they're just talking about dealing with self-isolation and so forth. And they said that like I think Chukwueze said that, bro, I'm bored. I am so bored. And Osimhen said that like this is like retirement. So this is even worse than retirement. He said that like
prison.
Even when you're retired, you can still go out. So he said we're eating the same food every day. We can hardly do nothing. We are just in a house. They said we are bored out of our minds. So this is so insane. And the crazy thing that we don't even know how long this is good. This is going to last for. But so, Ahmed, man, how are you dealing with your self-isolation, Ahmed?
So I started off, just binging shows, and I rewatched the Rocky series.
Oh yeah, great series, yeah.
I watched stuff like that for a couple days, and then I realized, you can't just continue living like that especially for weeks. So then, we have a treadmill at home. I run on the treadmill every day, bike outside, activities like that to pass the time. But now with the latest lockdown, which is supposed to last till May 15th, I think, where I am. I don't know, man. I don't think there's enough movies and TV shows to pass the time.
It's going to be crazy. I mean, yeah, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. Okay, so what are you? So, Monsaha, what about you? How are you dealing with your self-isolation?
Bro, to be honest, bro, it's like flipping blessing in disguise for me,
How come?
Bro, because for me, actually, my master's thesis was like deadlines has been increased, so we don't have, it's like been postponed. So for me, I'm working on my thesis, on my projects as well. So for me, it's like, really good for my time killing and, focusing on some of my projects things as well. So yeah, it's been doing good, bro. For me, it's working.
No, because what's it called? Like, because I said to myself that, because basically in England, what they're doing is they're canceling the exams, and they said that so for your GCSEs or your A levels, they're going to basically do it based on teacher assessments and your mocks. If that happened to me, I would fail because because I didn't get along with my teacher. I hated school, and I failed all of my mock exams. I did well in the actual exams, but my marks was failure. So, it's a mess, bro. It's a mess. It's a mess.
And not to mention in other countries like the US, they still don't know what they're going to do with the education system. Like universities are going online, but anything below that, they have no idea what they're doing. For now, they're just canceled.
But like what hatred for us, it's like we have to appear for exams. Like there's no excuse, I believe. Like at some point, they will call you, or otherwise they will do some kind of online test or something. Something has to be there, because it's not simply they're going to give you allow you to overcome through this without appearing for example. I believe that there will be something. So I still believe in a month or two, I think so there will be situation under control, because what I'm reading the reports and all those things, right? It's like right now Europe is an epicenter of corona, right?
Yeah.
So soon it's going to be Northern America epicenter of corona. And looking at China, I know some people don't believe that, but China has like been recovering from this disaster.
Is it since January, or is it the last 2 months, or?
No, I mean, like last 2 weeks, because like I was reading some of the articles, okay, and Juju man, they're saying like, okay, it's the situation. The current situation is better in China now, and how many cases in the last week, has been
it's been improving. But remember, like, obviously, I mean, guys, don't worry, we'll get into the main topic, but just want to clean up this whole coronavirus thing, because it's good that we always get like an update on this, and it's affecting everything. But the issue with China and South Korea is South Korea are doing like 10,000 tests almost each day. And I think like America has done 10,000 tests in like the last 2 weeks in total. So the reason why they're doing it so well is that they are testing so extensively that they're able to say, all right, these guys are positive. Boom, says, okay, these guys are good. But places in Europe and everything, they've been dragging their feet with lockdowns, testing, getting everybody to be tested. So these are the guys who are positive, these are the guys who are negative. So once you now get the numbers, then you know where you're at. There are probably hundreds of people who are positive who don't even know, because they've not been tested, and you don't have to show.
And apart from that, like, it's okay, the testing issue, and okay, I understand. But what I believe, some of the people, right, are they reluctant, or they are like pretty much afraid to go out, because what they believe is that like the quarantine facilities which is provided by the governments, right? So I mean, they're not reporting, some of them. So we don't know, like how many cases, true cases we have. Like, is this a conservative numbers, or is this actual numbers, what we are seeing? Because like we cannot totally depend upon like, the Chinese, what they are providing us. I mean, let's be honest over here. And same, Oh yeah, exactly. Julian's right. Yeah, it's not reliable. That's true. And same thing with Italy. I believe that. Like we cannot look. I mean, I read
No,
somewhere
no, no,
that
no.
Inter.
But look, you see, final thing before we go to the main topic. This is what
Yeah.
I'll say, and I think this has to be clear here. I think you're a brick or you're a moron if you now start being racist to any Chinese person that you see. Not every Chinese person was the cause of this virus. Now, the people who you should blame are those freaking morons in Wuhan and the government who knew about this in early December. They tried to suppress the information. And
Exactly.
because of these idiots, we've now had football cancelled. We've had the NBA cancelled. Because if we had known this as soon as this was happening, then people say, oh my gosh, there's a virus coming out, killing people. All right, travel ban, travel ban, travel ban.
Yeah,
And when
and
it comes
here
to
in the U.S., thousands are getting laid
what
off
happened?
because of the
What
latest
happened was
lockdown.
like since early December, guys were moved through. Guys were moving through with oblivious. So if we had known this, because trust me, those whistleblowers were trying to get the information out, but the Wuhan government said, no, 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 we don't want the information out because we don't want to be seen as the guys who can handle this whole thing. But because guys were being moved and these morons didn't let the world know that there's a virus going out there, all these guys who had the virus were moving to Italy, moving to England, moving to Germany, and it spread. And now look at what's happened now. We now have like football cancelled.
And you know the worst part about this, because I mean it's terrible in the developed countries, but the worst thing is the developing countries. Like I've just focus on like sub-Saharan Africa, where like if it hits there, it can be a disaster. Because
for sure.
Can
yeah,
handle.
that's true.
So that's probably the biggest worry out of everything.
Yep.
Okay. So look, man. Let's get into some football.
Hatred. I just want to get away here, right, brother? What I'm trying to tell you is that if the situation is getting escalated, it's out of control, bro. Let's migrate to Antarctica, bro. Hatred together. You know the whole hatred team member. let's migrate.
No. Take me, give me an island that's warm. I'll buy the first ticket there. Either give me an island or let me build my space station in Mars. The double space.
Bro, just play Animal Crossing.
Earth is overrated, man. Earth is getting way overrated. Human beings are becoming bricks right now. So let me move to Mars. All right. So again, guys, look, man. As I said it again, I'm doing my best here because saying like what I'm doing for self-isolation, I'm making content for you guys, filming stuff for you guys. Like literally, I just did a whole bunch of content for the members and so forth, editing, gaming, and watching films, man. So again, all I ask is that you just give the support because my hands are tied. I can't do previews or reviews of current games. So I'm going to try and do maybe retrospective post-match analysis, but I am working on content to be given to you guys each day, at least one live show or at least one content show each day. So again, I'm doing my best.
Suggestion, you should do like a movie, like watch movies. Because
it's funny that you said that. What I will be doing because I actually thought of that to today. So I will do like movies to watch in self quarantine. So I'll start posting that from tomorrow. So every day I'll recommend a film for you guys to watch. Let's discuss about it, and I'll just watch. And look, guys, there are ways you can watch the film. If you don't know, if you can't find it, tweet me. I'll give you the website link, bro. So it's all cool. And then I will every day I will give you a film recommendation, and we can basically talk about and review the films on the Friday in the open Q&A. All right, so the topic for today is Xavi and Iniesta. So these were two players that pretty much encapsulated Barcelona and were at the epicenter of tiki-taka and so forth. And many people view them as a group. Of course, Messi was important and everything, but there was a special kind of telepathic understanding that Xavi and Iniesta had. Xavi being the main central midfielder and Iniesta being the roaming central midfielder. But the way that they worked within each other, one touch, and how they just had this understanding of where each other wanted to be, that was what formed the core of Spain's success, 3 trophies in a row, and the core of Barcelona's success as well. But the question here is, looking at both of these players, who would you say was more important to the success of Barcelona and Spain? Would you say it was Xavi, or would you say that it was Iniesta? Come first to Muntaha with this.
Bro, for me personally, when I see the difference between Xavi and Iniesta, I believe that Xavi is a philosophy in himself. I mean, don't get me wrong. Iniesta is like, I believe his responsibility in that 2009, 2010, 2011 team is not what, the burden on the shoulders of Xavi was. Okay. I believe Xavi was a key to, for me, he's a midfield master. Okay. What Iniesta couldn't be. Like, for me, look, Iniesta is a more flashy player. Okay, he's good on the ball. He's good with the dribbling. Okay, he was good with the 1-2. But what I believe is that Xavi is more than that. Xavi can play multiple central midfield position. What Iniesta cannot, I believe.
Two questions there. First of all, can he truly play multiple positions as Mars Iniesta? And the second thing is that okay, you say Xavi was key and so forth. How many goals did Xavi score? How good was Xavi in the final third? And how crucial was Iniesta in providing those opportunities for Messi to get those goals? Because at the end of the day, that's the argument that people say with Cristiano, goals win games. So
no, that's not true. That's not true.
To creating chances, how do you say it's not important?
No. Because first of all, if you see Xavi, some of the big games performances, right? 2000 Champions League final, what happened? I mean, Xavi and Eto'o was the best players for Barcelona in 2009. Okay, I know Iniesta's goal against Chelsea was crucial, clutch, but we can argue and discuss about that as well. But my question, with respect to as a midfielder, when I see someone who's more crucial for my team or for any team, right? I believe that once Xavi left the Barcelona team, there was no one to create. There was no architect in that team from back.
But they won a treble in 14-15 with Iniesta still there.
Do you believe Iniesta was that useful in the treble? Do you believe that? I don't think so. I mean, even if you replace Iniesta with Rakitic, and then at that time they had midfielders, I believe, like Thiago Alcantara, for example. I mean, still that team is winning the treble because that team was such a good run and shape. I mean, they was literally bypassing the midfield in 2014-15 season. So midfield was not even the question, I believe. They had a role. Okay, they were regulating for the front three in a sense. Okay, but can you tell me that without Iniesta they could win? They could have won. And second, in that season, right, when people talk about Iniesta,
so if you remove Iniesta, they still that's Iniesta.
Yes, they are winning. They're still winning. Yes. Messi, Neymar, and Suarez, bro, in that season. If you see the highlights of the season, it's all three of them. Let's be honest with it. Even Dani Alves was the part of the team. If you remember, Dani Alves wasn't that crucial for them. I mean, he played his role. Let's be honest with it. But the burden in that season, front three. I mean, how much credit you can give for Iniesta in that season? 5%, 4%. I don't give more than that. I'm sorry, I cannot give. But if you talk about the peak prime Iniesta, wow. And even 2010 Iniesta's World Cup final goal, right? Did you watch that assist Fabregas gave him? Let's be honest over here. The Fabregas saw him literally? He was, making the run, and Fabregas spotted him exactly in, by a fraction of a second, bro. I believe that people talk about the final goal Iniesta scored, but they don't give credit to Fabregas. Thirdly, the most important point for me, okay, right now, how Messi plays right now for Barcelona. If they have Xavi right now, but not Iniesta, I believe that they would be much better team right now compared to. Because look, how many players in world football you have like Xavi? Can you name me? Might be one or two.
But I reject that because football keeps evolving. Even if you put Xavi in the team right now, yes, they will improve, but they will not be able to match the offensive intensity of Liverpool because the game has now changed where Liverpool's way of playing and offensiveness, even what Real Madrid were doing, that is where it has gone to now. This is a different topic. Tiki-taka and how teams deal with tiki-taka. But once you figured out tiki-taka and everything, you could easily destroy that system that nobody could figure out for that period. So
but you're forgetting one thing over here, and this is the most important thing. Xavi was press resistant. Can you give me a moment where Xavi was being pressed highly and he lost the ball and the position scored
No,
the
no, no.
goal.
But it's not about losing the ball and everything. It's about knowing what you to do when you have the ball. The issue that people had is when they had the ball, even if it was for a short period of time, when they had the ball, they didn't know how to get it into the final third in 2, 3, 4 passes, which is what that Bayern Munich team under Heinkes did very well.
Yep. I know. And you know what? If it was the 2013 season, right, when Barcelona lost to Bayern Munich 7-0, I believe, in aggregate, like in 2 legs, right? Okay. Do you know who was the worst player for them? I believe it's after Piqué, it was Iniesta. In semi-final, bro, because he was like so rusty. He couldn't even understand some of the things. What happened to Iniesta in 2014 World Cup when there was no Xavi? Let's be honest over here, bro. Like Xavi without Iniesta, he was success. Like back in 2006 when they won Champions League doubles, right, in that season. Okay, when they won doubles, Xavi used to be like top 10 midfielders in the world at that time. But Iniesta came in, break into the Barcelona team as a left winger. Don't get me wrong. I'm not discrediting Iniesta. First over here.
Okay, so basically, so your answer is Xavi then as the more important player than Iniesta.
I believe yes, 100%.
Okay. Let's bring in Jujuman. So Jujuman, who do you pick, Xavi or Iniesta, as the more important player?
I agree with Munta. I think Xavi is better. No, because
thank you, bro.
Because I know people will say the man can't dribble to save his life.
Can he shoot?
Sure. And attacking wise, I'm not sure he's like his dribbling ability is not probably the best. But
he can't, don't say he's not the best. He can't dribble. Well,
he can't dribble.
His dribbling isn't really that good.
But his vision, passing, and he creating space and opportunities, especially short passes. I think he's the best, or probably one of the best that the game has ever seen. And I think Munta mentioned it because it's the fact that Iniesta it looks like he needs another player to play with him, and he's not. There's been a lot of Iniestas, like Zidane. Zidane was like an older Iniesta. There's been a lot of Iniestas, and Xavi. I mean, there's a few players with his abilities. I mean, can anyone name how many players that play like Xavi? And don't tell me Andrea Pirlo, because
no.
Pirlo was registered.
We don't mention Pirlo. We will get there because I want to talk about these guys in separate, but just focus on importance first before we divert the topic into somewhere different. But yeah, so you're saying that look, I will agree with you. Yeah. There's never been a player like Xavi, and I get where both of you guys are coming from because I think. But my thing is that we're looking at importance, and I think this is where the debate is, because I think it's a little bit more complicated. Because yes, Xavi was the system; he was critical to the system. Yeah. Last I checked, you can keep possession all the time that you want, but goals win games. And for me, Iniesta was critical to making Messi look good, because Iniesta was the guy who broke the lines and was the guy that made that last third mean something. If you ask Messi, which guy does he miss the most? It's Iniesta, not Xavi. Because Iniesta was the guy who was walking with him in that number 10 position in the final third.
True. Yes.
Can I interrupt you here, please? Yeah. Please. Thank you, bro. I have a question. What do you think right now? Who's playing as a Xavi role in the current Barcelona team? Can you name me a player who's playing?
It's supposed to be Arthur.
Arthur or Frankie de Jong, most probably right now, because he's most of the time he used to play that position. Frankie de Jong, he was asked, he cannot understand, when to move the ball, how to move the ball retention, holding the ball, unnecessary. People talk about Xavi, without any intention he moved the ball, left, right. No, that's not true. That's not true. Xavi.
My issue here, this is that football always evolves. I believe that tiki-taka had a sell-by date. It had a great run, fully dominant, but it had an expiration date. All it took was for people to figure it out. There's a reason why Bayern Munich got that ass 7-0 over 2 legs. So Barcelona have to evolve. And that's maybe this is a separate topic, but Barcelona fans thinking that, oh my gosh, we need to find another Xavi. We need to reclaim tiki-taka. No. Because if Tiki Taka meets the right kind of team that knows how to counter and attack, they're screwed.
Double H. One thing.
Yeah.
You were right on. You're right on. I mean, Iniesta has his finishing on the third is good, and he has probably his career has a lot of highlights. The Chelsea one, the World Cup. He has a lot of highlights. But I mean, I know people don't like stats, but Xavi has 58 more goals than Iniesta.
Thank you, Julie, for
How do
bringing
you-
it
Wait,
down.
didn't Xavi had like 30 assists in like 09 or something? I think he had like some crazy assists in one season.
Yeah, it's like he's more productive than Iniesta. He produces more. He's more productive than Iniesta. So, I mean, how good is Iniesta? I mean, compared to Xavi, how good is Iniesta? I mean,
Yes.
Xavi,
No, but see, these are different places. So for me, like, that's why I said I can't compare them who is better. I say who is more important because you see, if we're
Xavi,
doing
bro.
you compare Xavi.
You have to understand. Look. Okay, so if Barcelona wants to play from the back, right? Like, I believe that it's not like all of a sudden where high pressing system evolved with this Liverpool team where people used to press. No. Even back in those days, there was a certain team used to press them. Xavi used to drop deep, receive the ball, used to be instrumental. Should he go for the long pass or short pass? And you know what, H's? I'll just DM you a link, okay, where there's a video about the Xavi's mindset and his, like, I mean, even prior to the receiving the ball, he understands where's everyone and he exactly he exactly knows what kind of ball Iniesta wants to receive on the field.
No, Monta, I fully agree there, but I still, I mean, we'll get to Xavi and where I think we rank him, but let me just bring in FG here. So FG, who would you say is more important? Was more important
Yeah,
for Barcelona
I
and
mean-
Spain, Xavi or Iniesta?
I mean, if we're talking about like who's better, it's Iniesta. But the most important player for the whole Barca system, the Spain system, is clearly Xavi. I mean, he was literally the piece that made everything work. I think if you take Xavi out of both Barca and Spain, I think maybe they might win that World Cup, but I don't know if they'll win that Euros and all that. And I don't think they would be as successful in the Champions Leagues and La Ligas without Xavi. Like Iniesta, like as great as Iniesta was, it's not like you can always replace an Iniesta. Like it's not like I'm not saying he's generational, but you can always find a great number 10, someone who's great ball control,
Number 8,
natural ability.
you mean penetrating midfielder?
No,
Yeah.
for that Spain, since Iniesta has left Spain and Barcelona, who has taken Iniesta's place?
I mean, Isco. I mean, Isco in the what do you call that World Cup in the group stages? He was amazing. Yeah, Isco, dude. I'm telling you, Isco can fill that Iniesta void. He can definitely do that. He's got the talent.
Yeah.
It's just that he just needs like the right manager and like the right players.
But I don't feel that he has been able to truthfully fulfill that position and that role that Iniesta has filled because
No, I think it's mainly because there's no
and productivity.
Oh no, I think it's mainly because there's no like natural striker for Spain, so it's hard for Isco to link up with the striker. Like if he's got Morata up front, there's no way he can link up with Morata and expect Morata to score goals. Whereas Iniesta, he had David Villa in his peak, so he can like
and
rely
Pedro
on
as well. And Pedro used to be a great goal scorer for them.
Yeah, I think
wait. Let me just hit the super chat. Wait, let me just hit the super chat now. I'll come to because I want to shift the question a bit. So for Walker, thank you very much for the super chats, Mr. Walker, Football Hub member. How important do you feel Alves' width was to Barca's success? Huge.
He was their fourth most important player behind Messi, Xavi.
Barca made two dumb decisions. The swap deal with Eto Ibra, dumbest decision Pep ever made, and letting go Dani Alves. Because remember, Dani Alves never wanted to leave. He never wanted to leave. And he said to himself, no, these guys didn't fight to keep me. And they didn't give me a contract that was critical because Dani Alves, because the new camp pitch was so big, and because Dani Alves was so good at crossing and creating and dribbling as well, he was critical. And trust me, again, you ask Messi, two guys that he desperately missed was Iniesta, and Dani Alves.
The thing is, people always praise the Messi Alba link up, but that a Messi Alves link up was like to another level.
Oh, dope! That was dope. That's true.
I'll push back on your points. I think Dani Alves was finished because it was finished. It was the right decision because I saw like.
Dani Alves was still good for PSG.
Bro, he just won the best player of the tournament in the Copa America at like 36.
Yeah, yes, but I watched Champions League with PSG and I saw Onion Kuru making Dani Alves work. Like he
but it's a different team. It's a different team.
Yeah, I think Champions League wise, I think Dani Alves might not cut it for Barca if he had stayed. I think in La Liga against the lower oppositions, he definitely would have helped Barca much more.
Right.
And one more thing, I want to say one more thing about Iniesta. Like Iniesta's last couple of years, I have never seen a player that's been more. He was an El Clasico merchant in his last couple of years. On a weekly basis, he was playing bad, but when El Clasico comes up, he puts a 10 out of 10 performance every single time. That's the only reason he stayed at Barca for those last 3 years. He should have been sold like years ago.
Okay, so let me bring in this question, and this way we can really open things up, because I still think people are sleeping on Iniesta's importance, but it's further. It's fair. Look, it's here. We're here for the debate. Xavi. So where would you guys rank Xavi as a central midfielder of all time? Now, here's my thing. I have always said that Xavi is the best midfielder I've ever seen in terms of keeping the ball. This dude would never lose the ball. He always knew who to pass to before the ball came to him, which is one of the paramount things you need to learn as a central midfielder. But as a central midfielder, there are many, many aspects. Of course, it's possession, it's creativity, it's your passing range, passing virtuosity, maybe what you do defensively, what you do offensively as well. And look, we can talk about Pirlo, we can talk about Riquelme, we can talk about Zidane, we can talk about Vieira, we can talk about Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, so forth. So I'll come to FG first with this. Where would you rank Xavi? Let me just hit the super chats real quick. So from that side, Dani Alves for Juventus was unbelievable. Bro, Jujimana, I don't know what you're smoking. Dani Alves was still damn good, bro.
No. In his first couple of months at Juve, he wasn't good, but at the end of the season,
he grew and he got better.
Yeah.
All right, so FG, where would you rank Xavi?
I mean, it's got to be top 3, definitely. I mean, for a guy who is, bro. Top 3. We're talking about a player who has revolutionized the sport. I mean, you can't name me like 3 or 4 players in the central midfield role that's revolutionized the sport. Like
100% agree.
Like it's impossible. I mean, like I would say he's like probably like second or third. Like I would definitely say Pirlo's better, but mainly because Pirlo's more versatile. He's done it in different types of teams, and I feel like he's got the long ball too. I mean, Xavi can, but the only hindrance towards Xavi versus that Pirlo debate is that Xavi's only done it in the same system in international and club wise. If Xavi had done it like outside of Barcelona, he would definitely be like probably like the best ever. Okay,
so
definitely top 3.
Okay, so you're saying that Xavi would be like your number 2 or your number 3?
Yeah, around there, 2 or 3. But he's definitely top 3.
So who are your other 2 then?
I mean, are we classifying Zidane as a CM?
I would.
Yeah, if Zidane CM, then Zidane, Pirlo, Xavi.
Okay. Muntaha.
Bro, for me, it's like really tough, like difficult decision to say. I mean, like I love Xavi as a midfielder, and specifically if we just talk about Xavi as a CM, can you really say Zidane as a CM? Let's be honest with you. I mean,
okay. So this my thing here, and you see, I don't give a damn. I don't give a crap about what the formation says. I just go via what I'm looking at on the pitch. And when I'm on the pitch, Zidane is mainly in the center of that midfield. And he is dictating the play. You see, if you're dictating the play and you are literally having the most touches of the ball and you are setting the tempo of the game, you're a central midfielder.
Yeah,
so
that's
I don't
true.
care what it says on the formation. Well, on the pitch. No. You're a central midfielder if you're dictating the game. And one of Zidane's best thing that he did better than most guys was he ran games.
True. True. So for me, if you just talk about, okay, so it's obviously number one is Zidane, then there's not even an argument about that. And for me, top two, bro, it's difficult between Xavi and Pirlo, man. For me, bro, both of them are.
Wait. Okay. Why is it difficult between Pirlo and Xavi? Why? Please explain.
No, okay, because if you see, Xavi in the final versus Pirlo, Xavi usually have upper hand over Pirlo every time. Like
But
most
he
of the
plays
time,
in a better
everyone
team.
always
Remember that.
No. I mean, no. When I see as a midfielder role, right? Who did it more? Who contributed more in the finals? I believe Xavi had upper hand. And secondly, I mean, even Pirlo with the regista role, I mean, his greatest regista ever. Like ever greatest in the football, I believe. Even Xavi, I mean, Pirlo have some great moments. 2006 World Cup final, oh my God, against Germany as well in semi-final 2006. Then 2007 Champions League is final as well. I mean, Pirlo have a great moment. 2003 as well for Pirlo in AC Milan. I mean, it's difficult for me right now because if you see Xavi's system, I mean, arguably, that's the most efficient system. Sorry, one of the best, flashiest system, tiki taka, and Xavi was the creator, the architect. So you have to give respect to Xavi as well. So,
okay, wait. But here's my pushback. Right, I'll come to you. Here's my pushback. Could Xavi work in a different team that didn't have that system? Could he impose that system in a totally different team with different players? Because Pirlo was effective for Juventus,
that's true,
AC Milan, and Italy.
Yes.
I understand.
Which had 3 different systems.
I argue. Look, this is my argument with that point, Double H, because people say Pirlo played in different systems, but he's still in Italy. He didn't go to the EPL. He didn't play in.
No. But gentlemen, my point is
Italian system. It wasn't. He didn't play the EPL system.
No. But Jujuman, my thing though is
Juju's correct, bro. Come on, man.
Let me explain. My thing though is the Spain system was pretty much the Barcelona system. Yes, there were Real Madrid players there, but the way that Spain played was almost identical to how Barcelona played. So there was hardly anything new to learn because first of all,
I can argue that
because first of all, about half the players were from Barcelona and they played the same way. Juve, AC Milan, and Italy played very different ways, and the guys who were in Italy were in the bulk of the guys who were in AC Milan or Juventus. Xavi was going into a Spanish team where I know these guys. Busquets is here, Iniesta is here, all these dudes. Dani Alves is here. So boom. So it was
I have a counter for that. Please,
before you go, Munta, two more. First of all, he was playing with amazing players. Second of all, it wasn't far off that Italian system. Because if he was playing in a Dortmund, then I'll be like, okay, Pirlo is on another level, but it was still a bit defensive. That's the other point. The other point I was about to say. Yeah.
No. But my thing, Jujuman, is that if to go from having a Vidal and a Khedira next to you, or having a Seedorf next to you, to go into having a Marquisio next to you and everything is vastly different. Because remember, Pirlo, in his midfield thing, there was no one Italian next to him for AC Milan or for Juventus. But Italians have a very specific
psychology. Wait, one more thing for the Juju when he mentioned the EPL thing. Look, man, I think Pirlo would easily thrive in the Premier League because you look at the Premier League, it's all long balls. All you have to do is long balls, and Pirlo is like the best. He's the master of it.
Pirlo is not the most athletic player. This man,
physically, he's very good physically.
No, but Juju is correct over here. Wait. Pirlo's. Can you tell me what's Pirlo's defensive contribution when he used to play for Milan, right? Gattuso used to help him a lot. Seedorf defensive contribution as a midfielder and as even he acted on 2 different roles. Seedorf, if you see his contribution, let's be honest over here. People talk about Pirlo. I mean, he's great. I'm not taking anything away from Pirlo, but when he compares his contribution, physicality, what he offers you on the pitch, let's be honest over here. Secondly, wait. You know what, Juju? Bro, Xavi literally played in 2 different systems. What's Rijkaard's system and what's Pep Guardiola's system? Please, can you tell me? There's massive difference, right, between the two systems. I mean, Rijkaard used to play direct football.
How good was? Xavi, how good was Xavi in the Rijkaard system?
Bro, he was top 10 midfielder, I believe, in that system as well.
Bro, no, because I like that you bring that up, because I remember reading something where Xavi really didn't like Rijkaard because Rijkaard used to bench him for, I think, Deco.
That's true.
And Rijkaard didn't really play enough. So Xavi was actually saying, look, man, he didn't like playing under Rijkaard because Rijkaard, he felt that Rijkaard didn't really value him and he didn't really play him much. So that's because look, man, I'm taking nothing away from Xavi. Because Xavi was the system and he was critical to that system. And the key thing to that system was we hold on to the ball. We do not lose the ball. So that's amazing. But I'm just saying that there's an argument to be said that if, like, adaptability, that's my argument is adaptability. Can you adapt? Can you go into a totally different team, a different system who maybe can't keep the ball, but can he still be effective?
I'll ask you.
One more thing, Juju. Like, we have to remember, like, I mean, Xavi started like late. Like he started like what do you call it? Getting known around 28. That like around 2009. That was 28. He was like 2009, right?
Yeah.
Pirlo, he started very young, around 23, 24. So his longevity, his consistency was far more greater than Xavi's. But Xavi's peak was around 4 years.
Didn't Pirlo was utterly disaster when he used to play as a number 8 position on even attacking midfielder position? Do you know that? Under Ancelotti, Pirlo was disaster. Ancelotti literally, moved him to the register role. He gave him the register role. People don't know about those things. When they say, "Oh, Xavi was not effective, was not crucial for the Rijkaard system," even Pirlo, in his early days as an attacking midfielder, as a number 8, he wasn't that great.
Plus, he played for the best team in Europe at that time. So
exactly,
he wasn't playing with scrubs. He was playing with the lead teammates. So
oh, okay. So, Jujuman, where do you rank Xavi then?
I easily over Pirlo because first of all, everyone says the system argument is I think it's weak argument because Xavi, first of all, is the system. Second of all, there's no evidence that
even if you say he's a system, like say he goes to a Chelsea, that means you have to find all these great players that great with the ball and great technically to fit around him. If he has like bricks around him, he can't play the same way.
FG,
wait.
And then I'll come to you in one side.
I'll respond like this. Fabregas went to Chelsea and dominated. Trust me, Xavi's not going to struggle.
He dominates?
I mean,
he was good. He didn't dominate.
Bro, I believe
he had Fabregas had one half great season in 14-15. The first 6 months he was great, but then he fell off.
True, but Xavi, Xavi could do that.
And plus that Chelsea team Fabregas played under, that was a great team.
Alonso,
that had Hazard, that had Matic. No, I think you're talking about the Conte team. Yeah. The Conte team defensive, that was like tactically, that was the reason why Fabregas thrived in that team.
Yeah, but Xavi would thrive because he's a high IQ player, high football IQ.
Yep,
so
but the thing is though, his Xavi's impact would not be the same as he did for Barca. And if he went to a different team though.
You know what? That's because
wait, Juju, okay. Let me ask you a question. And look, this is just us having a debate. I'm not here to crap on Xavi and everything, but I'm just trying to, let's critique.
No one's right or wrong here, by the way.
Yeah, no, there's no right or wrong. It's a debate. So let me ask you this then: if Xavi was in a team where the players couldn't keep the ball as well, would he still work? Because yes, Xavi was amazing. So was Busquets. So was Xabi Alonso. So was whether you want to bring in a Dani Alves and so these guys were good at keeping the ball because Xavi
positionally they were good too. They know where to go. And to back up Double H's claim, look at Messi internationally. The players around it, they don't follow the same rhythm. They don't have the same IQ. Just use that back in the head.
It is, yes. So my thing is, if Xavi goes to a team where, let's say Xavi goes to an Argentina, everybody wants to attack. Nobody has any positional sense. Everybody wants to dribble. Could he still be like, okay, I now have to change my brain, readapt myself, and now play more forward passes, more risky passes. Because remember, Xavi's thing was short, then maybe long. Short, because he knew that I can play 4 or 5 short passes and my guys will keep hold of the ball because they're so technically good.
And he knows that as long as he keeps the ball, someone will make a run and the space will be open.
But if you're in a team where guys aren't good at keeping the ball, guys are just thinking about attacking, can he adapt himself to be, let's say, more athletic like a Modric and so forth, and run forward of the ball and make that 40-yard pass, make that 70-yard pass to try and
he can.
Wait, yeah. So Jujuman, could he do that? Do you think he could be able to adapt himself to do that?
Go fast, Minta, because
yeah. So, bro. Like, like I just want to bring a one point over here because like FG just came with the Chelsea thing, right? I mean, look at Kovacic, bro. I mean, last season he went to, like, season before that, I believe, like on the loan from literally reject, right? And he went there. I mean, he was good. Don't get me wrong. He made the difference in Chelsea, and he was literally Z-Tech version of Xavi. What Xavi, like, I mean Xavi is like million times better than this guy, okay? But he's making difference. He's making his impact in the team, in the midfield. And the second question where H said, can he make a difference? Yes, he can. Can he go for the long balls? Yes. Can he be more direct with his passes? Yes, he can be. Because Xavi is the best, midfielder ever to scan the spaces in the opposition defense, and he knows when to release the ball, when to move the ball, how quick it should be. He knows, I believe, that everything I like the midfielders you name. I mean, Pirlo's long ball has been, oh my god, like people used to have orgasm on the Pirlo's long ball. People don't remember the Xavi's long ball thing against Madrid. I mean, Xavi gives so many great, long balls as well, and to Pedro, so many other players. There's plenty of templates we have for Xavi and samples we have. Xavi has given so many long balls. How can you can say, oh, here's just a short pass thing? No, that's not true. That's false analogy. I believe that.
Okay, let me ask this other question now. Then this is for all of you guys. So maybe I'll probably do a video on this, but let's just discuss this. So let's just say then, let's just rewind the clock, and let's say Xavi stayed at Barcelona because you say that he was the system.
Yeah.
This being the tiki-taka system. So if he stayed, do Barcelona continue to dominate?
Dude, his legs were gone in 2015, man. He did nothing. Like that treble season at Barca, like the reason why they won that treble in 2015 is they benched Xavi and played Rakitic. Because I remember that 3-1 game against Madrid where they lost 3-1. Xavi started. He was awful. Right when Rakitic came on, Barca started playing much better. So I don't think if Xavi stayed, I think he would just been a hindrance to the team. Like they made the right call when selling Xavi.
True, I agree. And the one thing too is like but he was key. You remember he was key to close out games because you bring in Xavi in the last 30 minutes and the game is on lock because he'll keep all of the possession. So yeah, but I agree. Barca would be good, but he probably help in games in slowing down the game and ending the game. So
because my thing though is that look. Because I've said that, look, I thought that system was bloody and annoying. I was not a fan of the whole tiki-taka system, but I respect its dominance and its superiority. And I just said that, man, if somebody can just figure this out, this system is dead. Figure it out, this system is a complete done deal. But my thing though is that's why. Maybe this is a different thing of like when we talk about system and how good this whole system is, because the main arguments you guys are saying is that Xavi was a system, but Pirlo was still Pirlo was still playing long into his career. He was still and he was still effective. So could we say that is perhaps a detriment to Xavi that he couldn't really play at a high level long into his career?
Nah, I would say he just peaked late. He was like a bloomer, basically.
And the longevity of Pirlo's career is overstated because he played in Syria, which was dead for like 10 years. Juventus won.
No. We're talking about like from like the late 90s to like the 2000s. That was still competitive.
That was still good, but the rest after 2010, Syria after 2010, I don't think we should count that because it was a one-team league and
in 2010 Milan won the league.
2000. Yeah,
2010-11 Milan won the league.
How about when Zlatan left? That's when it became.
And when Pirlo left to Juventus, that was one of the crucial. That's one of the things that turns it towards Juventus' favor.
True. Still, I don't think. No, I think we're giving Pirlo too much credit. It turned, but it didn't like. Juventus were already building up a stronger team, so it wasn't all Pirlo. And I think afterwards we should not count that because I mean Thierry was on the decline after that.
Yeah, but he only played to the end of his career there in that time.
For how it was at least 5 years. No, 2012.
No, it was like 2
Dude,
years.
he was like 34 and 35ish, bro, and he was still playing good, like during his late years.
All right.
Yeah,
we have Iniesta who's 35 in Japan. I mean, that says a lot.
Okay. All right.
Oh, okay. So, actually, wait. Since you're here, then, so Hazem, where would you rank Xavi as a midfielder all time, central midfielder all time? Where would you rank him?
Oh, all time. I would definitely rank him top 10 of all time.
Oh, wow. Because everybody else has said top 5, top 3.
To be honest, there were for me the greatest central defensive midfielder was Rijkaard. There's also
ahead of Xavi.
Would you count Messi as a midfielder?
No.
What the hell? What the hell?
No, because you can count him as a Roman midfielder.
I mean, he may go there. That's his prerogative. But Homie is an attacker, bro. I'm not going to central midfielder.
All right.
Nah.
Yeah, well, you have Cruyff, you have Rijkaard, you have Pirlo. Right. Yeah, Cruyff, of course, Cruyff. Cruyff, even if he was a roaming player, most of his career was playing from midfield. He was an attacking midfielder, and he was one of the leaders of that Ajax team that won 3 in a row. So yeah, I would say Cruyff, Rijkaard, Pirlo, Zidane, Didi. That would be the top 5. And I would put Xavi right after the top 5.
Okay, so 6 then. Okay, so
yeah.
Let me bring in Iniesta then. Now, the thing about Iniesta is this: before we rank Iniesta, I think we all need to come to a consensus as to what is his position. Is he a central midfielder? Is he a cam? Is he a number 10? What is his position actually? Iniesta.
I think he's got to be a 10, honestly. Like, we can't have every midfielder as a CM. Like, his best attributes were creativity, passing, breaking through the middle. Like, he was more towards that goal area, so he's got to be at number 10.
Okay, so let me come to Jujuman first. So where would you rank Iniesta then, all-time number 10s? You've got Dennis Bergkamp, you've got Sneijder, you could argue Zidane, maybe Maradona. So where would you rank Iniesta all-time as a number 10?
I think we need to change position, or else he's not going to make top 10. Like,
wait, what?
There's a lot of number 10s that are good. Like,
yeah, Ronaldinho. You could have.
Oh my god.
Oh geez.
Who will make it?
Rivaldo.
Yeah, there's too many good number 10. But I mean,
even Kaká.
As a roaming player, I think we'll put it as a roaming player. I don't. I mean, where does he rank?
So you want to not disrespect Iniesta now?
Yeah, because it's number 10. There's no way you're making it top 5. There are too many good number 10.
Look, there are a lot of good number 10. I mean, maybe that's another comment that there are a lot of good number 10s, bro.
Like, I would say top 10, but I'm not sure I'll be able to rank Iniesta because you say this. I have to rank him as a central midfielder. I can't rank him as an attacking because it's just he won't make it.
Dude, there's like so many. You can have Cruyff there. You can have Platini there. You can have Zico there.
Platini,
Zidane,
Del Piero.
So
Del Piero,
yeah. If we're putting him as central midfielder, I would say maybe 6th, 7th around there. That's our place.
What makes Platini better than Iniesta?
Bro, he won. He's the reason why France.
Yeah,
you want to talk about impact and revolution? He started that France dominance. He put France on that map by winning that Euros in '84. So yes, was it? Yeah, it was '84. Yeah, and he had like 12 goals in that tournament.
Okay. So Munsal, where would you rank Iniesta? Muntaha? Okay, FG.
Oh yeah.
Where would,
Can you hear me?
Oh yes, okay, Muntaha. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. For me, bro, it's really difficult to put Iniesta as a number 10 position, bro. Like for me, like I know he started. To be honest, he started his career. I believe that
he the number 10 was
center mid.
Yeah, I'm center mid.
No, but he started his career as a left winger. Many people don't know about this thing, in Barcelona. So when he was really young, he made a cut into La Masia as a winger. Okay, so but like his natural position is not winger. Let's be honest. So I believe that it's number 8 or right attacking midfielder kind of thing. I can give you that. So most probably number 8 I'll give him. So yeah, for me, for me, I believe number 8, top 10 midfielder. Number 8, yeah, top 10.
Top 10. All right, FG.
I might just put him like top 5, honestly, because the impact, like the guy. Look, man, I think the reason why Iniesta and Xavi are high on my list is because they just revolutionized the sport, and not a lot of number 10s have done that, apart from like the all timers with who's like Ronaldinho's and all them. Like other than like if you like Platini, like I think Iniesta is better than Platini because like he put more for the game.
What you just said Platini is better.
No, I said I put in the number 10s, but. No. I'm putting Iniesta. I'm putting Iniesta top 5.
No.
Okay, all right. What about you? Where would you rank them? Hazem, Iniesta.
I agree with FG. I put him top 5 as center mid. I consider him center mid because he was like in the system of Guardiola. He was starting as a center mid, but he was roaming around the pitch. But as a center mid, I think he's top 5. I don't see many players better in that role than Iniesta. The way he could just absorb so many players and perform so many different actions in the team, linking up with Messi and spreading the play, linking up with Xavi.
He was like a B-Tech version of Messi. And plus, I honestly think he was robbed of 2 Ballon d'Ors. He should have won that 09 one. He should have won that 2010.
You have Messi agenda, man. Come on,
no,
bro.
That 2010 one.
No. It's your Messi agenda, bro.
No. He definitely deserved that 2010.
No, relax.
The 2013. That's the easy one.
Relax.
I'm trying to think of center mids.
No, Ribery and Snyder got the goal rope, bro.
Come on, man. How Snyder deserved that 2010 one over Iniesta?
Oh, are you
Milito.
Snyder won it.
But Iniesta won a World Cup.
Wait.
World Cup.
It's a World Cup final.
Bro,
Iniesta won a World Cup.
Wait. Allow me. Snyder's contribution that World Cup from the day one, but that Netherlands team came back. No, that's not true.
No. Here's the case I'll make. Milito was better for Inter than Snyder, and Milito won that Inter.
No. That's false, bro.
Milito was clutch. Milito was clutch.
Bro, he was clutch, but it doesn't make him better than Schneider. Or Schneider was a center back.
Where was Milito against Chelsea and Ancelotti when they faced Chelsea in quarterfinals? It was Eto'o. Eto'o was the best player in both legs. So I mean, Milito wasn't the best player against Chelsea in the quarterfinal. And wait, in semi-final, I think they played Moscow or something like that. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Snyder. Okay, Milito showed up against Barcelona first leg, I believe that.
And the final.
Second leg. I mean, finally,
Schneider showed up in every single game in that Champions League.
Snyder was the most consistent player for them, even against Milan. Do you remember they won 4-0?
No. Snyder in that season was more like that's why he puts in a claim as this is probably one of the best seasons in number 10 has ever had. The amount of assists and through balls that guy was produced. Basically, Milito only scored those goals because of Snyder.
Yes.
Milito didn't create those goals by himself. Those goals because of what Snyder was.
And the other thing is the fact that he reached the World Cup final in the same season. I mean, that was easy Ballon d'Or for Schneider.
Okay. Let me just bring in something. I'm gonna go back to
a really good question over here. How come Snyder didn't make top 3 of the Ballon d'Or in that season?
Because it was Messi. Because they gave it to Messi, Xavi, and I don't know how Messi made that top 3 though. That's the mystery. That's the biggest mystery.
No. Messi deserves to be in that top 3.
He should have won the Ballon d'Or.
It should have been Snyder, Xavi, and Iniesta. Dude, but Milito had 30 goals that season, by the way. So I'll leave it there.
Yeah, but goals doesn't mean everything. I mean, let's be honest here.
Oh, okay. So let me come back to. So this is actually no. This was actually a conversation that we were actually having yesterday. But I want to bring in you guys into this whole thing, which is about Thierry Henry and about where he's rated overall. And I think the thing with Thierry Henry is again quality player, amazing player. He could have been one of the elites. And I think that we have to, because again, let me just come out and say this, because people were saying yesterday that he was top scorer in the 98 World Cup. I didn't even realize that. So even if he scored 3 goals, who gives a damn? You scored 3 goals. Those are probably the 3 best goals ever. So I don't even give him that World Cup 98. Cool, Euro 2000, you're definitely past. You definitely are involved in that. Trezeguet scored the winning goal, though. Also scored the goal to take them in there. 06, you flopped. Great, you took them there, but you flopped. And maybe we have to talk about Henry's clutchness. So the thing, though, is if we're rating Henry, where would you rank him?
Wait.
Wait. Henry wasn't top scorer, man. It was Davor Suker, the Croatian player with 6 goals.
He was top scorer for France.
France. Okay.
Top scorer because
He was 18 years old, I believe. He was 18, yeah.
Wait. Where was Henry? Where was Henry
at Juventus? Still, I think. Sorry, Juventus.
Where was Henry in Euro 2004 when he had his best season with Arsenal? That's the question.
Bro, look. Okay then. Okay. Let me come to Hazem then. So Hazem, where would you rank Henry? Would you say he's overrated, underrated? Where would you rank him? Where would you rate him?
To be honest, I think Henry is a bit overrated by Arsenal fans.
Thank you.
To be honest, like if you say like he's the top 3 strikers of all time, then to be honest, too far. But in Premier League, for Premier League standards, he was very good. But for me, like for example, Ronaldo did more in Premier League in the time he was there.
Preach, man, preach.
No, really, because no, it's not against Henry, but it's just that Henry had a great style of play and he put up great numbers, but he wasn't clutch enough, and the numbers didn't even match Ronaldo when he was there. So, in terms of consistency as well, Henry's consistency was up and down, but in terms of pure ability, I think he was one of the best.
He had his moments. He had
one of the best strikers. One of the best strikers in terms of ability. So, especially in terms of technical ball control. And he had some moments as well. He had some big moments for Arsenal, but domestically especially. But man, in the Champions League, I just wish he showed up in the Champions League in that final. So if he showed up in that final, I think he really could have been top 5 strikers, or maybe top 10. So right now, I'd say.
But before I go to this, how would you assess his French career for France?
Failure.
No, that's not true.
Could you repeat?
No.
So how would you assess his career for France, his international career for France?
Man, to be honest, in that World Cup, he was really young, but then afterwards he didn't really show up in Euro 2004. So that's the issue. So I don't know what happened to him in Euro 2004. Well, he was on form for his club, for Arsenal, and then he comes to your high expectations, and that's what you want the striker to do. When you have the expectations on you, you need to show up for your country, because that's where it's the most important. Where it determines the top strikers in history. is what you do for a country if you're representing a country that can compete. And France had a very good team in that year. So you have no excuses. And he had no excuses, especially in that Euro 2004. So for me, country is pretty...
So how did they lose to Greece? Yeah, they lost to Greece.
Yeah. But Greece were a big surprise in that tournament. So, like, I don't know,
It
man.
was rigged, man. It was rigged. They wanted Greece to go to the Olympics next year, man. That's why they let Greece win it, because the Olympics next year was hosted in Greece. So they let Greece win that tournament, so that everyone would allow Greece to host that
I
tournament.
don't know about that.
How would Portugal accept a fixing when
because they weren't in the plan.
Yo,
They just paid the ref.
FG. No, wait. Yeah, FG. Do you know that? Look at the Portugal team. That's like one of the strongest Portugal teams. Let's be honest over here. They flopped. I mean, let's be honest. You have Figo, you have Maniche, you have Petit.
Your boy Figo. We need
what
to
do you
have
mean,
that
my boy? Of course, my boy, bro.
No. Double H
and
is
your
Figo.
no, wait, and your boy as well flopped. Let's be honest with you.
What? Dude, he was the best.
I don't care. Wait. He was 19, and and look, Henry at 19 in World Cup, he was better than your boy. What are you talking about?
Bro, first of all, I don't give Henry that World Cup.
No, wait.
I do not give
Henry, no. Will you allow me, H? Will you allow me? Henry for France, his career is better and bigger than what Ronaldo and Messi has done. Let's be honest with you. His career is bigger. Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
Look, I'm about
100%.
When is it my turn? I'm about to ruin Henry right now.
You can.
No, actually, you're going last. Jujuman.
Oh God.
Look,
let me get the stats up just in case.
Look, I was looking at the stats. I can't find this guy's number. I'm assuming.
Dude, Giroud is about to eclipse Henry's goal record for France. That's how shit this man is.
Look, I'm looking pages. I can't find
Jujuman, get your grubby paws off whoscored.com and just
Shevchenko versus Henry.
Yeah, I could not find these numbers. Like it takes a while. But if anyone can tell me his numbers, because I don't know, maybe they're not good. They're hiding it. But with Henry, look, I'm going to be upfront. I don't like Henry, so this will be a biased take. I don't like him. I think.
Why don't you like Henry?
I think he's over. First of all, Arsenal fans like to over exaggerate like how good their players are, because Henry flopped in the 2006 World Cup. I mean 2006. Champions League final and the World Cup. The final, did he even play? I couldn't tell.
He played, but he got sold up. But he played pretty well. He gave Ribery a great chance that Ribery messed up. He played in the final. Another
final that he was not like. He didn't stand out. And the other thing is...
But Jujuman, can you give him... Okay, we can talk about the final, but he did lead that Arsenal team to that final. Remember that goal at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid? Remember what he did for that whole season? Give him his props against a bunch of nobody. He had no help.
Anything, Double H. I won't give him his props.
No, he had help. And
then the other thing is, that's probably one of those games maybe he flubbed it because he didn't do anything in the final. And then the other thing, let's look at the player attribute. How is he known for? Was he good at free kicks? I guess so, a couple of free kicks, but he wasn't like exceptional at taking free kicks. He wasn't known for free kicks. With penalties, I mean, he's typical any striker. There's nothing that says, "Oh my goodness, this guy is good." And for how many goals Drogba has more clutch moments than possibly this great player called Henry or whatever they call it.
Henry, please.
Henry.
Yeah, and his numbers in the EPL. Where does he rank? Is he among the? This?
No, Jujuman. He is the greatest Premier League player ever. He is.
I think Salah has better numbers than him.
Wait, Salah has better numbers than him.
Might be.
I mean, where does he rank overall in the EPL? Because if he's not the top, then I don't know what's the big deal with this guy. And
not to mention, in 8 years he'll get 2 league titles.
Yeah, 2 league titles.
No, that's good, man. That's good. 2 league titles is good. Come on, man.
So, with all said, like I'm biased. I just think, look, this opinion is probably biased because but it's biased. But I don't like. I think he's overrated.
He's a product of black
so
privilege.
where do you rank him? Top 20, top 25, top 10, top 15?
I mean, maybe he's top 50. Top 50.
Excuse me? Top 50? Okay. I mean, choosing man, like Aston fans are gonna come for you, man. So
Look,
I'll probably send them your numbers. So yeah,
he's
your email.
Arsenal is like the 21st century Nottingham Forest. Had a good period, but not grab anymore. They're seventh, and no one is saying anything.
Don't disrespect Nottingham Forest.
Oh, true.
They have a Champions League.
True.
Okay. So, Muntaha Henry, how do you assess his career as a whole as a player?
Bro, like for me, like Henry used to be productive for them. I mean, I know he flopped his career in Juventus, and he moved from Monaco to Juventus, and then he was flop over there. Then he moved to Arsenal, and I believe that like even '98 World Cup, he scored 3 goals, 1 assist, something like that. You know, so stats are, and at the age of 18, 19, that's impressive for me. You know, as a like you know when I watch someone to score in the World Cup on the biggest stage, I believe, I mean, the most prestigious thing to do. And to win the World Cup with that team, and he contributed. So it's not like he just scored somewhere like that, some fluky goals. No, he contributed. Like in a sense, I'll give him the contribution for that. Okay, and I know in 2004 he flopped. Okay, but the France and the competition, and I believe that like his journey in Premier League is success, man. I mean, you cannot say that like okay, he's not the one of the best Premier League player. He is, like, if not the best, one of the best. He has to be like top 5 players, I believe, in the history of EPL. For me, yeah, he is. And with the invincible tag, I mean, wow, that's like I mean, like it's attested now, on his I mean, his status as a one of the best Prem player. Okay, with the Champions League final, I believe his overall UCL run was impressive. I mean, yeah, it was kind of impressive. But final, I believe that was a kind of black spot, on his legacy there. When he missed like 2 sitters in that game against Barcelona. I believe Arsenal should have won, even they were playing with a 10 men, but they should have won that game. And that was
he missed 2 1v1s, bro.
I agree. No, I agree with that. Yeah, but like
yes.
Yeah, but even though he went to Barcelona, I know it's a strong team, but wow, was that Barcelona team was a really established side? Let's be honest. I mean, after they won 2006 UCL, I know that, but was they really that established? I mean, they were good. Don't get me wrong. But Henry was impressive in La Liga. I believe his numbers was 10, 12 goals a season. That was impressive as a left inside forward for them, in that season. So I believe that, and he won the Champions League. For me, overall, he's tier 1 player. Okay, and Henry would be like it's not like let's be honest, it's not like David Beckham where people hyped him. It's not the same scenario with Henry. Henry has proven him, on different stages as well. Okay, he flopped, but ultimately he proven wrong. Even in 2006, I know there's Zidane's assist against Brazil, but still, that's a stat. That's what Ronaldo do. That's what Messi do. I mean, they have a stat, right? Scoring goals. He has a goal against in the quarterfinals against one of the most talented Brazilian team squad. I mean, still, and that was like, I believe, right positioning to score the goal. So overall, I give him a tier 1 player. And overall ranking now, if you see like greatest players, I rate him in top 25, top 30, I believe, 25 easily.
Wait, all time or strikers?
Yeah, I agree.
Not all time as a player,
Okay.
Oh my!
Strikers. All right.
What has the sport come to, man?
FG,
Henry,
just talk, man.
Okay, Henry. Let's talk about his France career. Look, total failure. I don't want to hear anything. I don't give him that. I do not give him that '98 World Cup. So let's excuse that.
No, you can't not give it. Come on.
I'm not giving it. Henry's France career was basically him being Zidane's bitch. If Zidane shows up, Henry will do something. If Zidane's not there, he's a flop. He's a failure. Euro 2004. People don't even talk about France in Euro 2004. You know why? Because that's how bad they were. That's how bad Henry was. He did not show up. Dude, in 2006 for that World Cup, he couldn't even lead France to that World Cup without Zidane coming from retirement. So, and Henry, his Premier League career is very, very overrated. people talking about this man being the greatest Premier League player.
He has a World Cup knockout goal compared to
what?
Ronaldo. Doesn't have that. Ronaldo doesn't have a knockout goal.
No,
Look,
as
does
a look,
Ronaldo have that? Does Ronaldo have
he
knockout
failed.
goals?
Look,
Does Ronaldo have the
Olivier,
big goal? Does
say this,
Ronaldo have a big goal? No, that's not true. Ronaldo also
Giroud is
stat
coming.
pad. Wait.
Olivier
Ronaldo also stat
Giroud.
pad. Come on.
Olivier Giroud is coming for Giroud is coming for Henry's goals record for France. Giroud is coming, so watch out, Arsenal fans.
FC relax. Don't mention that name.
What?
Relax.
Bro, he's only like 15 goals away, so I'm saying
50
no,
not happening.
Henry has 51, Giroud has 39, so he's close.
And then another stat.
No, that's not close.
Is Frank Lampard has more goals than Henry in the
Yeah, and like
Juju.
It's different.
But Juju, but don't forget to mention that Juju. But Frank Lampard has one of the most deflected goals in the Premier history as well. So that's one of the things.
People just
Come on, man.
scoring top.
But Juju, man. But bro, you cannot compare Lampard to as an overall player to Henry, man.
We left you,
bro.
Yeah. Look, on Henry in the Premier League. Can anyone name a worse finals player in history than Henry? I don't think I can. This dude.
I'll give you that, yeah.
Dude. It is. I would rather take Alvaro Morata in a Champions League final than Henry. At least I'm dead serious. At least Morata can do something in the final.
Okay, guys. Let me say this right now.
No, come on, man.
I think we're talking here about ability and clutchness. Now, I admit that in terms of clutchness, Henry wasn't that dude. Okay, but in terms of ability, FG, can you really deny Henry's ability and how he helped?
No. Yeah. He's definitely. He's definitely top in terms of ability and talent wise. He's definitely top 2 in the Premier League all time wise. But the thing is, though, look, man, ability and talent, that's natural born gifted. That's God given. It's not like Henry did something to get those abilities. He was just handed to them from God. So it's not like I'm not giving any credit for having natural.
No. That's not true, man.
Wait, this is super chat. Thank you, Rodney Salanga. And I think this is directed to you, FG, who said Giroud didn't score in a whole World Cup.
He has one more World Cup medal than Henry in my book. So
Bro, he didn't just have abilities, bro. He won the Champions League with his abilities, man. Come on, give him some credit.
No. See, that's another thing. I don't give him that Champions League either.
No, you can't.
Dude, for France, he was Zidane's bitch. For that Champions League, when he was Messi's bitch. This man is a sideshow.
Bro, he literally scored against Bayern. He scored in
Actually, that's not. That's where I wanted to go. That's where I wanted to go right now. So this is where I stand here. Look, I'm a big Henry fan, huge Henry fan. But I felt that he should have retired at Arsenal. But I get what he wanted to do. He wanted to complete the whole set. He's one of the rare players who has completed the whole set of a league win, a Champions League, a World Cup, a Euro. Like your Continental Trophy, a World Cup, your league trophy, and Champions League. So he wanted to complete that set, and look, that's an amazing set to have. But is it enough to just have the medal?
Bro, he scored. He was 5 goals, bro. He scored 5. He scored 5 important goals in that Champions League.
Let me land. So is it enough to just win and have a medal and make so much of a contribution, or does it matter the amount of contribution you make towards winning the trophy?
It matters. You know why? It matters. You know why? No, it matters. You know why? Because the way people talk about Henry is like this man is like some like top 2 player. Top this dude is like the second coming of R9 or something.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
This dude has never. He was never the main man for a World Cup. Never the main man for a Euros. Never the main man for a Champions League.
Doesn't matter.
He was never the main man. And for Arsenal, he was Arsenal. Bergkamp. Bro, for Arsenal, Bergkamp was better.
Bro.
Oh my God.
For Arsenal, he literally carried that team in the Champions League in that year, and then he got what he deserved by winning the Champions League with Barcelona. Even if he didn't contribute as much as Arsenal, he showed that he can carry a team, and then he was rewarded with a medal which he also contributed.
Look,
he
man,
scored in the,
look,
he scored a crucial goal
that's
against Bayern.
look, those World Cup and
FG,
those have asterisks.
Wait,
No,
FG, you have a misunderstanding over here. The problem with you is that we're not saying he's in the same bracket of R9. No, that's not true. What we are trying to tell you is that he's tier 1 player.
Yeah.
How come he's not a tier 1 player?
He's not tier 1.
Top 20
Oh my days! Then you have agenda, bro.
Top 20 strikers. Top 20 strikers.
Bro,
top 20. Yeah. He's
player.
definitely. I would say he's top 20.
No, bro.
Top
When
20
he's top
strikers,
20 strikers of all time, so how come he's not tier 1?
Okay. Do you know? Wait.
Exactly.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Wait. Let me learn. Do you know what it is? This the thing with Henry. This is the thing with Henry. I will fully 100% still say Henry is the greatest Premier League player ever, and what he did in the Premier League was amazing. What he did for Arsenal is amazing. Barcelona, he did contribute to that treble, but he was nowhere near as good for Barcelona as he was for Arsenal. He was functional. But guys, as much as I believe Henry was a superb, amazing player with crazy ability, we have to have an honest conversation about his international career. We have to have an honest conversation about his international career, because what I've always felt watching Henry is it's almost similar, not the same, but similar to Messi. It was like, the dude I see for Arsenal isn't the same dude I see for France, which goes back to our adaptability arguments.
It's double H. It's worse. You know why? Because France are actually a top nation, unlike Argentina, a bigger nation than Argentina. So for Henry, he has no excuses.
World Cups. So do France.
Oh my God! Wait. FG, you're telling me Argentina is, France is having a better history and having a World Cup royalty. In '98, first time they won the World Cup, right?
Onward, I feel like from the '90s onward, France have brought in more talented players than Argentina, apart from Messi.
No, but
wait. France, Argentina have
a far storied history. Than France have. No.
Who had Batistuta? Who had Batistuta? Who was Riquelme?
France definitely have the most talented squad in the world right now. They definitely have the most talented squad in the world right now. But my thing is that Argentina, I still feel like this is probably one of Argentina's most talented teams that they've ever had. But my thing with Henry is, those going back to my point, is why haven't we seen the Henry for Arsenal same as the Henry for France? And it goes to the whole point of, similar to what I said with Xavi and everything, is adaptability is a key asset. Now, if you're not adaptable, it doesn't take anything away from you. But if you can't produce a high level or tweak your game when you're in a different system with different players, I've got to take points away. I have to take points away.
No, but he can't act as if he did absolutely nothing internationally. Like, he scored a crucial goal against Brazil in 2006, right?
He's the reason.
He's the reason the France were in the semi-final.
Cool.
What?
No, that's true.
No, he was clutch. This is a clutch moment. He had a clutch moment in the international scene, so you can't just take everything away from him.
Wait. The Brazil one, the Brazil goal. You talking about in the 06?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Zidane literally gave that ball to a
bro.
He literally gave
Bro,
that ball to
no. Bro, it's a goal is a goal, and a clutch moment is a clutch
that game was rigged, so yeah.
Oh, everything is rigged according to you. The whole world is rigged according to you.
It is.
Oh my God, that's not argument. Sorry, man, but you can't just take that away from him. And even okay, fine. Euro 2004, he flopped.
Okay. Tell me this. Name me an iconic Thierry Henry French performance in a big game in international level. An iconic performance from him.
Dude,
you're thinking. The fact you're thinking means this dude's never had it.
Bro,
he's more memorable for a handball against Ireland than anything done internationally.
Bro, just because he had an iconic moment, it doesn't mean he didn't do anything.
Okay, Jujuman.
No, I'm not saying he didn't do anything. I think he underwhelmed.
Henry's France career, how would you assess it? Or Henry's international career?
It was, He was the. I look at Henry.
Respectful.
He was more of a poacher for France. All I saw is being at the end of the ball. I didn't see him you think you said it right, Double H. I didn't see him the way he was at Arsenal. Where Arsenal, even though Arsenal are a small team, where I saw him dribble, take out players and then shoot. But with France,
wait! Did you just call Arsenal a small team?
They're like 7th in the league right now. So it's like
no, you meant small club. That's what you meant.
Oh, I mean Arsenal. They used to be good. They had a good period, I guess, but now
for 6 years.
6 years, and now they're back where they belong. But no, but like, I don't like. Look, I'm biased towards Arsenal, as you can. But look,
towards.
Yeah, but like I don't like the club and the fans, but look, I'll try to be objective. I'm not objective in this point, but with Henry, like with France, his career in France, he looked like he was at the end of the ball. Like when he was playing for Arsenal, he took out players and dribble, but with France, he was like, for example, the one example you mentioned, the Zidane cross, the one people say it's offside, but he was at the end finishing, but with it just felt like he was more of a finisher, and the other, I mean, more of a poacher in France, and with the Arsenal, he could take out players. That's why
he never took France and said, "This is my team." It was never that way.
Yeah,
that's the main problem.
But with Arsenal, he felt like because he showed more with Arsenal compared to France. Like because with France, he was more, I'm part of this team, but with Arsenal, it's like I'm the great guy at Arsenal.
Okay, all right, okay. Wait. Let me before I come to Montal, let me just. So Natsa, thank you for the super chat. Says foreigners changed France's football pedigree. I'm not sure what you mean by that. How do you mean?
He's talking about Africans. Like France took all their players from Africa.
Okay, yeah. True. Okay, Montal.
I think that's what he meant.
No. It is. Monsaha. Monsaha. Okay. So look, man. So here's my thing here now, and I think maybe this goes into a nice that maybe take us off to the half-hour thing, club versus country, and a question of adaptability. Now, how much should we hold people unable to do as well for their country as they do for their club? Should we be like, a good player is a good player is a good player? So if a player is sensational, excellent for his club, but is average for his country, should that really matter?
I'll go first. I think it depends. It depends on the player, though. If we're talking about a player that's on the rise to be the greatest player of all time, then he has to do everything. But we're talking about just a great player, and he has a great club career, but like an average international level, then it's okay. It all depends on where the player is at the stage of his career, though.
Then actually, so let me throw a name in there. So for an Aguero, what do you say?
Oof, I mean Aguero. I think considering everyone considering he's one of the best Premier League strikers of all time, and the fact that, look, man, it's not just international, even club wise, Aguero is not that great because outside of Premier League, he's never done in the Champions League. So it's expected that Aguero can't do it internationally if he doesn't even do it in the Champions League. So yeah, for Aguero, I mean, he's just a great Premier League player, not a great overall player in my book.
Actually, wait, before I come in here, let me no. See, this is okay. Where was R9 in 06 when Henry ran through the whole team? Now,
he was tying his shoelace with Roberto Carlos, bro. That's what he's doing.
Two answers. Okay, let me give you two answers. First answer is Henry didn't run through the whole team. That was actually Zidane. Second thing is I bet £5 for Ronaldo to be top scorer. He turned up overweight, and that's why I will never ever bet again for the rest of my life. So that's what happened, bro. Hazem.
Bro, to be honest, both are important. You have to be both if you want to be considered among the greats, and you want to be considered one of the best in the world in your position. You have to have shown it in the Champions League, the two biggest competitions in the Champions League and the World Cup, and that is
or Euros.
Yeah, and Euros, but of course that is if you are playing in a country that has the ability to do that. So depending on the level of your country, you have to show that you are increasing the level of your country and or you are the center of the country and leading them into the next stage. So if you're playing for a team like France, for example, and you have such talent around you and such history of a national team, you should be able to lead them to at least a Euros or something like that. But this is one thing. If you have a player who has done so much in the Champions League, because remember, the Champions League is a prestigious competition. It's the biggest club competition in the world. So if you have a player who's won so much in the Champions League, that outweighs that by itself can make you one of the greats. If it's so much that it can replace the international scene. So an example of that is Ronaldo. So he's done so much in the Champions League. He's won 5 Champions Leagues. That even though if he hasn't won the World Cup with Portugal, he still won the Euros with them, and he can compete against players
and Nations League.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna count that. Well, you can put Ronaldo ahead of players who have won the World Cup just because of how much he has done in the Champions League and the Euros. Because the Champions League is a prestigious competition, and for me, if you win 5 Champions Leagues, I'm sorry, but you have to be and the role you play in them. Of course, he had a huge role in all of them. Then I'm sorry, but you have to be put ahead of players who even had a big role in one World Cup. Because 5 Champions Leagues for me is like more valuable than one World Cup, to be honest. So yeah,
that's crazy, bro. Boom.
What, bro? Like for me, one World Cup is equivalent to 3 Champions Leagues.
There is not equivalent to one World Cup.
Let's be real. In the Champions League,
that's just
Champions League. It's more. It's look. In the Champions League, it's fair game too. Everyone's on a good team, so it's more fair. You don't have to be in a bottom nation or a top nation to win a World Cup. In a World Cup, you have to be in the best nation to win it. In the Champions League, any team could win it. It's more even played, and that's how you can tell who's the best in history, and that's Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wait, let me just.
I didn't say that.
What's the question though, H? What's the question?
Wait. Okay, wait. I'll give it to you. Let me just answer this. Henry had a great international career. What are you talking about? No. See, my thing here is this.
Yeah.
In terms of what are you saying? In terms of trophies, Arbeloa has a great international career. So does maybe Willie Sagnol. But it's about
no. But Henry was top scorer in that '98 World Cup. Come on. France top scorer. Yeah, France top scorer.
No, this is my problem, bro. What's the contribution of Arbeloa for the those
Exactly.
trophies? Spain won.
But then that's why it's like, if you're talking about international career, it's not just because he's saying he had a great career based on the trophies he won. Yes, he won those trophies. What's it called? A World Cup, a Euros. You got to the final of the World Cup. But how critical were you to those teams? What did you do in those competitions? Was Henry one of the best players in the '98 World Cup? Was he one of the best players at the Euros? Was he one of the best players in the World Cup? He wasn't. Of course he wasn't.
'98 World Cup, he was.
I mean, like, wait, hatred.
Hatred. World Cup, bro.
Hatred, but like you're forgetting that. Like he's like one of the best players for France. You can argue for that in the World Cup '98. I mean, there are contributions, and he has his contributions. So how can you just say, oh, I mean, he has 0 contribution? No, that's not true.
No, for me, that '98 World Cup was a team effort. That was it. There wasn't a one outstanding player for France. It was a team effort. Like Ronaldo was the standout performer for Brazil. Davor Suker was a standout performer for Croatia. Ronaldo and Suker were really the standout performers for those guys. So let me come to Jujuman here. So Jujuman, does international contributions, how much does that matter?
I think it matters to some extent because I mean because if you look at international, I mean I saw the last World Cup. I don't want to mention nations because it's a diverse. That pieces. People cannot defend set pieces, and I'm wondering. I mean, what am I watching? And then, the other thing with the World Cup is like half of the people. I'm not even sure that like the World Cup is more of a festival for everyone is into tactics more than like it's the time to advertise your nation or present advertise your nation's football, or I don't know, it's just the time for the world to get together. But
you're very disrespectful.
Bro, this isn't a picnic, man. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's just like a festival. Like
it's not a picnic, man. Come on.
No. Judgment, it's a competitive competition where people are doing their hardest to win, bro. So
it doesn't feel like that, Double H. And another thing, the one, it doesn't feel like it. No, look, I'll give it like this. In the group stages, it doesn't even feel like a World Cup. It feels like it's a party. And then you reach the semis now, then it gets serious.
Nah, that's not true. That's not true.
It is
Germany got knocked out. Come on.
Yeah, but like, did anyone care? Like, no one cares.
Yes,
like, guys,
yes,
like,
we cared, man.
We cared, but it's because we like football. That's why we care. But a lot of people are like, don't care that much. We just want to see our team and have a great time. But once it reaches the semi, now it turns serious. The whole competition now changes and it's now serious. But in the group stages, it's like, I mean, for the big nations that are expected to win, it's a big deal. And for people like us who like football, it's a big deal. But for the rest of the people, it's like, But once
wait, to add to Juju's point, it's always the same 8 teams that wins the damn competition.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're born out, dude, look at Cristiano for example. Yeah. Before he became a Portuguese starter, Portugal won 0 Euros, 0 World Cups. The furthest they went to is the World Cup semifinal, and they've only made it to 3 World Cup appearances in their 50-year career or something. Like you know how hard that is to win a damn World Cup with Portugal. Just imagine if someone was like from Nigeria.
No, wait. FG, wait. Didn't Portugal made 1966 World Cup final? But you said
no. They went to semifinals. They got 3rd place.
The one thing why I think we should consider both the World Cup, because I say to some extent we should consider the World Cup, because even in the Champions League, with your argument, I mean, you're using your argument, FG, like Champions League, the last decade, it was concentrated. It was legit 3 teams that had a chance of winning the Champions League. It was
it's very small.
Yeah,
Real Madrid won it 3 times in a row.
Because they had Cristiano.
That's 4 or 5.
Yeah, and
so, but there's always look. I can name there's more. There's Barca, there's Bayern, Madrid, PSG, Juve, City, Chelsea.
Yeah, but the winners are 3. Like
when after the PSG win the Champions League?
Yeah,
PSG. What?
Soon. They might soon. Don't say
PSG, please.
So like I think we should factor in. I just said like this. I think we should factor. The Champions League Champions League is probably the hardest and the most important trophy right now.
Facts.
No.
Dude, it's the most fair level playing field for any player.
When was the last time? When was the last time a team won the World Cup 3 times in a row?
Dude, look, I'll say this.
A team will never win the World Cup.
If you want to know who the best is,
it works both ways. Wait, let me explain. Wait, guys, let me explain. It works both ways. Yes, the playing field is even amongst everyone, but at the same time, every team is stacked. So you have high quality players in your team. But in the World Cup, the degree of difficulty is a lot harder because it is a space
of time. Not for everyone though.
Wait, let me land. It's a shorter space of time. You're playing with people who you don't have familiarity with. So therefore, the degree of difficulty is far harder.
Because I have a counter for that. I have a counter for that.
What?
I have a counter for that.
HH, the perfect point, man.
HH, I have a counter for that. HH, I have a counter. Will you allow me? Yeah, thank you, bro. I mean, you can argue. Okay, there is no team chemistry in the World Cup, but like, can you? But can you argue for the like? Does World Cup have the best managers or best tacticians?
Nope, that's it.
And not all the best players are in the team.
At the end of the day, in the Champions League, you're on a far better platform to succeed than you are in the World Cup. Because even if you say that tacticians are not there, which I may disagree with, because look at what Lippi did with that Italian team. Even if you say that, at the end of the day, my point was degree of difficulty.
Okay, double H.
Because if you succeed at something that is easy, I'll still give you props. But I will give you more props if you succeed at something.
But hatred. Wait. Yo, FG, please allow me, okay? If that would be the case, right? Easy, right? Last season, Barcelona almost won the Champions League. Let's be honest over here. You have to beat home away. I mean, people keeps on forgetting that the difficulty level of away goals. People don't realize that the concentration level as well. You need to, give into UCL format, and it's not just one leg affair. Like I understand. Yeah, it's two leg affair. Secondly, with World Cup, right? Okay, how many teams have won the World Cup? Like the team. Yes. The team who has the best structure, best footballing foundation, and like the development of the country of football is at the peak. Yeah, I mean, those teams, those countries only win the World Cup.
So, did any team win World Cup three times in a row?
Wait. Yeah, but team won 2 in a row as well in the World Cup.
I think Brazil won like 3 out of the last 4 or something.
Yeah. Wait, Brazil won 2 in 3. Okay, and in '98, in '94, they reached the final. They won. In '98, they reached final, but they lost. And 2002, they reached.
And Italy went back to back.
So it never happens. It never happens. 3 times in a row never happens.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Obviously, because it's an 8.
No, not obviously.
What is it? It's a 12-year period or something, or 8-year
4.
period.
It's only 4.
Yeah, the teams change, so obviously it's going to be harder to do it 3 in a row.
Not obviously, because you can still win a 3 in a row even if it's 4 years in between.
No, but like if World
players
wait.
But
Hazem, you have to understand the time frame as well. No, but time frame is there in the World Cup. I understand.
And some of the best players might leave.
Exactly. So okay, but
that's the thing. So each
but you cannot use this point. No. But you cannot use this point in favor of like in UCL you have multiple winners, consecutive winners,
every
right?
year.
Because if World Cup is every year, then you can use that.
But the World Cup has been going on for so long that eventually it should have happened.
No, dude, the fact that we've had nations that went back-to-back World Cups, that says a lot.
Bro, because in Champions League 3 in a row happened before all.
But Hazem.
Okay, wait. Here's my question again, and I'll keep asking this question, and I want everyone to answer this question, and nobody wants to answer because whenever I ask this question, people never answers directly. They just bring up R9.
I'll give you the first answer, Doublers.
You didn't even ask the question.
Please, can somebody tell me why in 4 or 5 appearances, 2 players who are considered the greatest of all time, Cristiano and Messi, have not scored a single goal in a World Cup knockout game?
Okay, I'll come to you right now. I'll come to you right now.
Okay,
I'll answer right now. Because I'll retract that question by saying I thought it was not all about goals. Isn't that true, Mr. Double H? It's not about goals. It's about performances. Because they've had good performances in the knockout stage. Cristiano in the 06 World Cup, he was great in the World Cup. No sit. Messi. I can't say anything about it. I think actually 2010, he did have before that Germany game, he did have a good knockout game. So
let me answer your question.
Wait. In response to that, easy. Let me just land. My response to it is these are seen because these guys are held to a high esteem based on them breaking goal scoring records and becoming these goal scoring phenoms. So I can't wrap my head around the fact that these guys have redefined goal scoring, what it means to score goals. How have they not been able to score?
Okay.
I'll tell you why.
I got it. Wait, I'll go first, Hazem. I'll tell you what. Look, Double H. You have to understand. Like, I think you can agree with this. You can't name a single player that has no flaws. And for Messi and Cristiano, their flaw is that World Cup knockout goals. That's their only flaw. I mean, Messi's flaw is that World Cup knockout goal and not winning a trophy. Cristiano's flaw is not scoring a knockout goal. That's their only flaws, and for most, let's be honest, even though that's their flaw, that's better than most players' flaws. Look at R9. This dude's never won a Champions League. That's a bigger flaw than not scoring in a knockout game in a World Cup.
Can I respond? No, okay, sorry. Before I come to you guys, can I respond?
Yeah.
I would rather score the winning goal in a World Cup semi and the 2 goals in a World Cup final than anything in football. That's just me.
I would rather win a Champions League than a World Cup.
So Umtiti scored a semi-final goal. I mean,
yeah, it's Umtiti, a great all-time defender now.
No. But Jujuman, here, what my point is.
Yeah.
These two guys have been. They tell me that these two guys are the greatest players of all time, and they keep telling me that these two players are the two of the best goal scorers we've ever seen. Jujuman, please, I ask you, why haven't they been able to score a single goal in a World Cup knockout game where things are far more difficult in 4 or 5 attempts? Can you explain that to me? Because I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense to me.
First of all, I think even though they didn't score, all of them have reached the semi-finals. So that's
exactly.
It's not a fluke. Like they reached the semi-finals. They were one step. Messi is unfortunate because he didn't have the coach was not good enough for him to coach was not good enough.
Well, what? Come on, man. That coach was good, man. That coach used that defense brilliantly.
Jujuman, wait. Are you talking about 2018 or 2014?
14.
No way, man. That coach was good, bro. He knew that Argentina's best
Jujuman, don't you dare
attribute was the defense.
Jujuman, don't you dare do that. Because Jujuman, I will not say, look, Jujuman, that was the perfect coach. He did everything.
Wait, double H, man. Your double H, your boy Figo, he took away Cristiano's chances to reach that World Cup final in 06. He missed an open header in that 90th minute against France.
Hey, look, man, Figo's doing his thing, man. Okay,
I agree that, that was probably one of his careers. Like
Cristiano hit a free kick in the 90th. The goalkeeper fumbled it. Figo had an open header to level it up. It could have went to extra time, and who knows what would have happened.
Jesus, can I answer your question, bro?
Messi flopped. It was painful to say, but
but double H, can you admit that during Cristiano's Portuguese national career, that from 06 until now, not now, until like 06 to like 2016, that he did not have a good Portuguese team? Because look, if you look at that 2016 Portuguese team, Pepe was the only world-class player he had. Like, Portugal didn't bring out a lot of quality, talented players. Right now, they're bringing up quality, young, talented players right now. But back then, during Cristiano's prime, never had that many quality players around him. So I think it's pretty unfair for Cristiano.
Let me take this super chat because this is actually related to what you're saying. So, No Name, thank you for the super chat. Portugal is a better team than Argentina.
Yeah, right now they are. They're having their second golden generation. They're bringing in young players.
Okay. So if we say this, what was Cristiano's excuse for not leading them to the World Cup final in 2018 after they won the Euros?
I feel like that Euros team in 2018 World Cup was two different teams, though. It was like a philosophy. That Euros team in 2016 was all like park the bus, defend. And that 2018 team, that was like a more transitional period for Portugal.
Yeah, they weren't good enough.
And look, man, there's more players coming through. Look at Bruno Fernandes. We still have to see how he's going to gel in with like Bernardo Silva. We still got to see Joao Felix gel in with Cristiano. Yeah. So there's a lot of youth coming in. We just got to see the gelling part complete. Then, like, once they're ready, I think they can definitely win a Euros and a World Cup if Cristiano's healthy.
No. Cristiano. Wait, so you believe that Cristiano is going to have another World Cup?
Yeah. He said that the next one might be his last one. The next World Cup.
Might be.
Yeah. Dude, I think you can do 37, dude. 37 is not that bad. Dude, wasn't there I think there was like a 42-year-old Nigerian player who played. I can't remember.
The old Nigerian player, bro. There was never.
I don't know, Double H. I mean, your country has these age scandals, so.
No. But basically, all I'm saying is that nobody. Okay, Munta, can you maybe you can, because these guys have not given me a proper answer. Can you help? Can you answer this to me?
I just gave you, man. His team is not good. His team is not good enough yet.
Munta, why haven't these dudes who? Because Munta, they keep telling me that they're the goats. So if
can I answer, bro?
Why can't you score a goal in the World Cup knockouts game? Since the World Cup is so trash, as you
bro. You know what, H? I wouldn't be disingenuous with you with respect to Messi, Ronaldo thing. Are they really greatest of all time? Do I believe that?
Excuse me. Excuse me.
I don't think so. Like let's be honest. Greatest players, club players, yeah. Because what I believe
they are the greatest. Like this is.
I mean, okay, you can argue for
Muntaha. Look at this. We're having Dude, these guys are still active. These guys are still active.
FG. You have to understand. Look. You have to understand my notion where I'm coming from. Okay. With respect to World Cup, okay, when you talk about World Cup is okay. Like we all like agree that World Cup is not most difficult tournament compared to UCL, which we all agree. You, me, and Chujuman. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's the most prestigious tournament.
Yes.
On paper.
Yeah, exactly. On paper, exactly. But when you talk about the prestige, the most, like how many 4 billion people like throughout the globe, they watched a 1 month tournament. Let's be honest with you. So it's the most.
I don't think they are interested in football. They just, it's like
exactly. No, Juju. That's why I use the word we're prestigious tournament. Okay, and greatness is related to prestige, I believe. What you have achieved.
Yeah, doing the impossible.
I mean, doing impossible stuff, but how much the biggest trophy, because it's about prestige eventually. Because when you associate the word greatness, not the best. No, I'm not using the word best over here. Like for example, Maradona. I mean, he reached final, okay, in the World Cup final, 1990, and he won in '86. Okay, same thing with Zidane. I mean, 2 World Cup final. Ronaldo R9. When I say one World Cup final. He won the World Cup, I mean, with Pelé, all these great players. I mean, that was Johan Cruyff as well. I mean,
these nations,
bro. But FG, you have to understand. Once you won the medal, the World Cup trophy, bro, you have the argument to say, okay, I mean, your player, so and so player is GOAT, greatest. Because look, with Ali, he won all the biggest accolades what he could have ever won. With Usain Bolt, I mean, he won all the best accolades. Does Messi and Ronaldo, they won all the best accolades?
Those two sports are like sports.
But I'm saying in terms of the biggest trophies.
Yes, look. Here's my argument.
Montag has hit a very key point here.
Wait,
easy. Montag's very key, and this is just what I just need clarification on, because guys, you can't ignore a tournament that was more relevant than the Champions League years before. Because the man on the road who doesn't watch football, they know what the World Cup is. Everybody watches the World Cup. Not everybody watches the Champions League.
Everyone knows Cristiano and Messi, though.
No. They do because of promotion, marketing, and so forth. And they're good, but...
They're good, yeah.
Wait. But you guys, as Montag just said, it makes no logical sense to brandish yourself as the GOAT if you've never won a World Cup. That makes no sense.
It does.
Look. Here's my argument. Look, Muntaha mentioned Zidane, R9, Maradona, and Pele. Look, man, these 4 players. Look at the nations they're playing for. They're playing for the top nations: Brazil, Argentina, and France.
Portugal.
Before Ronaldo, they won 0 trophies internationally, 0. So I feel like Ronaldo helping Portugal win that Euros it's like you can't describe the words for that Euros win, because it was amazing. It was amazing. And look, who knows? This Euros win might lead to the next Portuguese generation, like 20 years from now, to win a World Cup. I mean, look at like I always go back to this. The Platini won in 1984. He won France their first Euros, their first international trophy. Fast forward 10 years later, they finally have a golden generation, and they have the winning mentality, and they won a World Cup. Like, that's how it starts. You have to start at a winning stage, and Portugal, they just started that winning stage. So I think it's unfair. It's unfair.
What are you trying to do here, FG?
It's not fair. It's not fair for Cristiano to win a World Cup when he plays for a small nation.
FG. Exactly. It's not fair, right? So he cannot be into the argument for the goal. That's the main thing.
That's not fair.
No. Wait. Because I understand. Because look, once you won, I mean, nobody's discussing who Cristiano is like not the best player or Messi is not the best player. No, they are like best ever. You can associate term of best with them, but you cannot have a biggest trophy in the sport. Bro, go every sport, right? Sport. No, wait, Juju, but every sport, right? They have the greatest. Why? Because that particular individual have won the best trophy, the biggest trophy.
No, but dude, the thing of football is different. If you look at the NBA, there's only one trophy, the NBA championship. If you look at American football, there's only one trophy, the Super Bowl. If you look at football, there's multiple trophies: the Euros, the Copa America, World Cup, Champions League. There's multiple.
But see, FG, you see, What I don't like is changing the arguments to suit your narrative and so forth. For most time, the World Cup was always seen as this is the acid test. You need to win this to be seen as the great. So only until Cristiano and Messi came and started winning multiple Champions Leagues and failed in multiple World Cups, the narrative now conveniently changed to, oh no, the World Cup doesn't matter anymore. It's all about the Champions Leagues that these guys have already won. Wait a minute. What happened to degree of difficulty? What happened to having to sweat? What happened to say, I'm going to have to figure out a way? Because look, guys, let's keep it real right now. Feng is one of the best managers in the world that Cristiano played on. Real Madrid have the most Champions Leagues in history, and they are Real Madrid. Barcelona are one of the biggest clubs in the world. So you can talk about the Champions League being important, but look at the teams they've played for.
The same use that with international. You can use the same argument with international. Like,
okay, Jujuman, how relevant were France at World Cups before 1998?
Yes, but when the year they won, they had a lot of superstars.
Look, they won the Euros in 1984. That was the start, man. That was the start. Platini gave him the platform.
And the other thing with Pele, like, look, Pele, his numbers are impressive, but there's a huge but coming. But FG, we watched the video with Pele. I think we watched with Tosin and Red, and what the first word after I watched the videos with Pele, about Pele playing, the first words that came in my mouth was Messi is God. He's the God. He's the God. Because Pele just, like, I know the ball maybe was bounced a lot, but like he just looked like he probably looked like more of a mixture of Mbappe and Cristiano. And I was like, I think Messi is the greatest, because I don't see how Pele was better player. So when back to the argument is Brazil had a
Dude, Pele. Dude, you want to talk about unfair? Pele had the most stacked Brazilian team in history. He had the most stacked Santos team in history.
Wait.
Santos
in 1958, no. FG, you're wrong. FG, I'll tell you why you're wrong. FG, I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Here's my point. If you look at the scorelines for the Santos game, every single game for Pele played for Santos, it's 10-2, 7-0. Dude, they beat Juventus 7-0.
Yeah.
7-0. They're winning all these games 5-0, 10-0, 10-2.
FG, we're discussing about the national team, right? Wait. Bro. In that national team of Brazilian national team in 1958, okay? Bro, Pele was like flipping 17 years old. There was only Garincha and Ndidi. That's it. Only two players.
He's playing against alcoholics, bro.
No. This is a problem with you, FG, man. That was the circumstances, okay? That was
okay. So why don't we rate Stefano?
You cannot compare with today's modern football. This is the problem. After 60 years, allow me. After 60 years, okay? Like 6 decades later on, right? They'll be flipping robots in football. And at that time, people will complain, you know? In 2010, Ronaldo, what he did, what Messi did is like, it's you cannot compare with what happened right now. Bro, that was the past. You have to understand the boundary condition. Hey, one second.
Easy. Let me hit the super chat. So from Isgid Odogo, who says, who has the better record in World Cup performances, CR7 or Messi? Now, the answer for that is very simple. It's Cristiano. But for Odogo, I'm not here about almost or just about, is doing it. Who cares if Cristiano has better World Cup performances? Facts are both of them are international breaks.
Wait. You can't say, dude, he's got a Euros, bro. You just say World Cup break. Don't say international.
Okay, no. In terms of World Cup, both guys have been...
Break is too hard.
Easy. I like this comment. In club football, you can buy the best players. What makes you a better player is being able to achieve things with what you have been given. Assembling the greatest mercenaries doesn't measure up.
I disagree.
You know why? Look. You know why? Look at France. They're taking all the best African players into their team. That's assembling a superpower team. How's that fair that France can take all the best African players?
And that's the thing. You need. This is the one thing. That's why I this Maradona, like, I know Maradona was a great player, but that's the one thing I have with this Maradona, saying he carried a team. No one carries the team. This is football. Is a team sport. So when people say
that's Maradona, I don't sniff that World Cup final.
You need great players to win. You cannot do it on your own. Even Heinke said this. A lot of coaches have said.
But Judgman. In 1986, now I will accept the France arguments.
Yeah.
But in 1986, all you could pick were guys who were Argentine. That's it. You couldn't go and sign this star player from Italy, this star defender from Germany. All you could pick were Argentines, and that's what you have to walk with.
And
no, dude. But the thing is, though, I feel like back then, I feel like
the one thing is the one thing I'll respond, FG. The one thing is that this Argentina, the one people are saying Maradona carried this team by himself. It's a false narrative because you cannot carry a team by your own. There has to be players in that team that were good and did not get the credit they deserve.
Dude. In that World Cup final, 3 players scored in that final.
Wait. Let me see. What they mean by that is like when they say carried, in real terms, that's impossible. It's impossible. But when you say a guy carried them, it's that he did so much, it feels like if he carried them. Zidane carried France that final. He didn't do everything. Henry scored that winning goal. Ribery was key. Vieira was key as well. But Zidane did so much. You just said he carried them. And without Zidane, France don't even qualify. Without Maradona, Argentina don't even sniff. They don't sniff that final. And that's my issue, is that what Maradona did in 86, what R9 did in 02, Cristiano and Messi are unable to do. And for me, that is where greatness comes through. Because
but double A's. I feel like
can you say what's up when things aren't going your way? When the conditions are not
no,
great.
but don't you agree it's harder to win a World Cup? Don't you agree it's harder to win a World Cup right now? Considering because back in the day, if you had great individual talent in your team and like individual brilliance can get you to the World Cup, but right now it's not just individual brilliance. It's also about the tactics. It's about the system. There's so much more details going to these World Cup games. Like every detail matters. Back in the
wait. Let me hit the super chat. Let me hit the super chat from Walker. Thank you very much for Walker to member. Now, see this is where I want to talk. Could Cristiano or Messi have won Napoli 2 Serie A's and carried a good, not great Argentinian team to a World Cup?
Never.
Look.
Never.
I know. Look,
Never.
Cristiano could win that Napoli team. He could win that Napoli team. He could win that Napoli.
Come on, Juju.
Yeah,
dude, you want to know facts? You want to know facts? I'll bring you facts right now. I'll bring you facts. I did my research.
Yes, he would have.
Maradona, dude, that season, Napoli invested so much in that summer. They broke the bank in that summer during their first title win. Not only that, they had a great defensive line. They only conceded like 4 more goals.
They were inferior.
Wait. Do you know that Milan defense in that season?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They only conceded 4 more. And not to mention, that was a 30-game season, not a 38-game season. In their first title win, they won 15 games. They drew 12. Not to mention, Maradona only had one goal
that's not
against
true.
the top 5.
Wait.
Maradona only had one goal against the top 5 teams.
FG, that Napoli team, Maradona was the only key and only link for the attack.
No, there was 3 international.
No. That's all bullcrap, bro. Okay.
No, there was 3 Italian players that played in the Italian national team in the 1990 World Club.
Season before that, in 1988, right? Do you know how many goals Milan conceded in a whole competition of Serie A, and they won the league?
What, 15 or something?
14 goals, 1-4, 14, bro. And literally, people. I mean, the defenders was committing suicide, to stop Maradona in that season. Okay, and when Maradona used to play, it's not like Messi, how Messi Ronaldo plays ref, give the defenders a yellow card or something like that. No, literally, defenders have to commit suicide to get a red.
Look. Here's what I would say. I would say this: if you put P. Cristiano in that Napoli team or in the 80s in Syria, he would thrive, man. Because he could physically. Because look, we've seen Cristiano. No.
You know why? Do you know why? Wait.
Dude, he did it in the Premier League.
Response. Do you know why he wouldn't thrive?
Why?
The key to that team was an all-round player, because what Maradona did was both being creative.
God, I'm talking about 2012 Ronaldo had everything.
Playmaker. What?
Yes, dude. Do you want me to send the videos? How many open goals Benzema missed on purpose.
The one thing is with Montag, you say they won't do. I mean, in Double H, you say they won't do well in they wouldn't do well in those times. But we saw in the late 2000. I mean 2000 around 2006 around there to 2010. We saw when Messi and Ronaldo played the Serie A centre backs like Nesta. We saw they got the respect from the defenders because I mean you saw
But Juju. AJ, can I counter that?
But I'm just saying, like, even if we go like when Messi and Ronaldo were in their early 20s, like all Serie A legend defenders knew they were great players, and like you could see, like they.
But it's not 80. But Juju man, the point that Montag is making is that Messi and Cristiano, back in the 80s, where the pitches are crap, it's waterlogged, it's muddy, it's uneven, and you have to commit homicide to get a yellow card.
Wait, dude. Cristiano's faced those tackles. Dude, if you remember in the Premier League in the mid-2000s, wait, Juju, let me go first. If you remember in the Premier League, the mid-2000s, when Cristiano first joined, they were tackling him, they were destroying him. I mean, if you look at Neymar right now in the League Up, when Neymar keep getting injuries, that's what they were doing to Ronaldo in the Premier League, but 10 times worse. And I think
but still they were biased with attackers.
No, they didn't give out yellow cards. They did not give out yellow cards. It was only.
No, I agree with that. No, bro, but still, that's nothing. FJ, but that's still nothing compared to 80s, late 80s, early 80s era.
Look at this though. Look, Messi and Cristiano, they're smarter. Look, IQ wise, they're intelligent players. They know how to get. They would do. Great players can play great in any era.
And the one thing, if I've opened Montag, the one thing is in the 80s, how many of those players were doing football full time? Probably some of them had part-time jobs. And another thing is, like, football, it doesn't look. I look at the videos; they don't look.
It looks slow, man.
Yeah, but the other thing is, it just looks like you try and kick towards space and run, and that's about it. Like, it doesn't look.
Dude. Here's the right thing. I think it's every year goes on. The game just gets more competitive, more complex.
Juju, you know what?
Yes.
Football keeps on transforming, right? Okay, I understand the transformation. You cannot compare the two different eras, but what I'm trying to tell you is that this era will look slow after 6-7 decades because there will be robotics, there will be like implementation of nanotechnology on the field. So, but at that time, you cannot compare this current era with the era is going to come. In future, I'm just assuming. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you have to see from the circumstances of the border scenarios. Napoli at that time and defending and everything, right? And you have to see the liberties is given to the attacking players. Referees are now super biased with attackers. Let's be honest over here. Just one slight blip, you got. I mean, if you're on the ground, penalty.
True, but the game is becoming it's becoming technical. Like it's becoming more technical. But it doesn't mean like. It's worse. I think it's better.
Let me just hit this. I want to just respond to this comment. And this is a false narrative that I need to.
No, it's not. I'll expose you, Double A's. Go. Just say your stuff. I'll say after.
Okay, so people say that don't give R9 the credits for O2 because that team was stacked and it was quality. Then I say that did you watch the matches in Brazil Turkey semi-final? Brazil got outplayed. Ronaldo came in and saved them. That's what you call clutch. Nope. In the final, Germany completely dominated Brazil. Brazil went playing well. They went connecting well. Germany were creating all the chances, and tactically, Rudi Voller totally figured out Scolari and that team. Who came through to put them through was Ronaldo. So don't look at what it says on paper.
Wait, let me respond to that. Dude, Rivaldo was Brazil's most important player in that tournament. He won that game against Turkey. He got that Turkey player sent off on purpose. Even though he lost his reputation, he got them to that final. I think he also set R9 up for that goal too. And in the final, he set R9 up too. That the rebound R9 got to it and tapped it home. like Rivaldo had a big part, if not bigger part than R9.
The guy who took them to the promised land was Ronaldo.
No, you can't say that. It was both. It was a duo, man. It was a duo. You can't say.
No, without R9, FG, come on, man. Come on, you just spent too many legends, bro. You just spent too many legends tonight.
People saying R9 carried that because they just want to fit the narrative. They just want to fit their narrative because they lost 4 years of this guy with a knee injury. And he came back on one World Cup.
FG, he was top scorer.
Dude, but Rivaldo played a big part too. It wasn't a carrying job.
Didn't R9 broke the scoring record in the World Cup in that season? I mean, in that year. I mean, 2002, he was the top scorer in the World Cup.
06 against Ghana.
06, yeah. But wait. I believe that he broke the record of Pele, right, in 2002. Or like the highest.
I think Pele still has that record.
Yeah,
No. R9 is second highest scorer because Miroslav Klose, broke his record. R9.
I think you're talking about all-time Brazilian scorer.
Yeah. I mean, bro, people talk about Rivaldo, right? Rivaldo was great. Don't get me wrong, but can you name me other players? They have Lucio, who was like literally young. They have Dino. They have Ronaldinho.
They have Roberto Carlos.
That's it. Roberto Carlos and Cafu might be Cafu. That's it.
Who was their goalkeeper? Was it
Dida or no?
Dida? Was it Dida or Caesar?
No, it was Dida. Dida was class. Wait. Bro, you're telling me Dida is like one of the top 10 greatest goalkeeper of all time?
I mean, at that time, he was a good keeper. He was a good keeper. Dude, he started for AC Milan, bro.
Bro. You're telling me that Dida is one of the greatest goalkeeper of this.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying he was a damn good keeper. It's not like he was playing with trash players.
Of course.
Every player in that team, there was not a single player you could say, "Oh my God, he does not belong there."
You know what? The 2000 team is the most stacked team. Not 2002. Come on, you have young Kaka. I mean, that is the 2002 team.
I'm not saying it's a stacked team. I'm just saying like I think it's unfair to give R9 all the credit.
Nobody's giving him all the credits, but
how come the narrative is, oh, look what R9 did, come from post-injury, knee injury. He won Brazil the World Cup. No, he won it with Rivaldo.
The keeper was Marcos, not Dida, by the way. I think the keeper was Marcos. So who the hell is Marcos? Wicked Marcos. Look, man, don't sleep on. Okay, so see, guys, this was my thing here is that I am not taking anything away from what Messi and Cristiano have done, but I just think that we live in a time where people are too quick to give the title of GOATs to people when it's not having to do the hard work.
But with Double H, don't you think it's crazy? Look, they're both active, and their people already calling them the greatest ever. Can you imagine the day they retire? I think they would be undisputed. If the day they retire, they would be. One more thing. This is the biggest thing. I might get a lot of hate from this, but this is the honest truth. Your boy R9. The only reason people talk about R9 today is because of Cristiano Ronaldo. If Cristiano did not have his last name was Ronaldo, people would not even talk about R9 these days. So you can thank Cristiano for your R9 being relevant.
But you see, FG, no. So that's wrong. You see, that's an age thing because look how long people have been talking about Pele for. Look how many people have talking about Maradona for. Because again, remember, me as an older guy, because I grew up through the Ronaldo era, for me, he's still the best player I've ever seen. With all due respect to Messi and Cristiano, in my eyes, those guys are complete chumps compared to R9.
Can I just say the lineup for the Brazilian team, right?
Okay.
I just want to give the lineup, okay? Ronaldinho, young Ronaldinho. People doesn't know anyone nobody knows about Ronaldinho in that season. Okay?
Hey, that free kick against England.
I'll give you that. He was upcoming talent, but he was an established player, right? Okay. Who the hell is Gilberto Silva? Okay, Gilberto Silva is a good player, but is he world class, legendary? No. Lucio, young Lucio, Edmilson,
good defender, defender.
Oh my God, Lucio at that time is a good defender. Wow. Okay, I can see now.
Of course. How else could he be a legendary defender if he wasn't good back then?
Bro, can you tell me who's the Kelberson, bro? Who the flipping hell is Kelberson? Who the flipping hell is Roque Junior? Who's this guy?
Dude,
Dude,
but that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though, dude. Every team.
FG, man,
dude,
FG, bro.
there's no-
You can't
dude,
say that, bro. This is the
Dude,
point. You have to give credit to R9 for that, bro.
I'm not saying no one's saying he's playing in a stacked team. We're just saying he has world-class players around him. Not everywhere on the pitch, but he's got like
Bro,
three
who's
or
a
four.
world class? Except 2 players? World class? 3 players?
No. The only world class player he had there was Rivaldo. That was it.
Wait, Gilberto Silva was good. Wait, the one
Gilberto Silva's good.
He had Roberto Carlos.
Gilberto Silva, my God.
Wait, who was the right back? Was it Cafu? Was it Cafu the right back?
Yeah.
So he had two world-class fullbacks.
I'm giving you 2. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And he had Rivaldo, and he had an upcoming talent in
No. But guys, you're missing the points I made.
I'll respond double H.
Wait. You look at this point I made. If you look at the team lineup for that 2002 France team that won the 2000 team, that team was off the chain. That also to remember, that was peak Henry, peak Trezeguet, peak Vieira. That's an amazing team. They didn't get out of the freaking groups. So guys, forget about what the team lineup is. Watch the games. And if you watched the games, Brazil were outplayed in most of those games. Turkey outplayed them in the semis, and Germany outplayed them. But it's hard to take a hero to rise through, which is that when I look at that Portugal Uruguay game, Cristiano, where are you?
Dude, he was taking shots though. He was taking but thing look,
your team needs you. Where are you?
No, I'll say for that game, look, Uruguay defense is solid, but look, man, he was still taking shots from outside the area to get a goal. But
the one thing I would like to respond to your comment about it, I think Messi and Ronaldo easily will retire as good because it takes the amount of discipline and hard work you need to be consistent for this long.
Dude, and double H, you keep mentioning they're the past. Dude, Cristiano just said he wants to retire until he's 40. He's got 5 years left. 5 years left at the European level.
Yeah, and you see so many talented players, i.e. Lannister, Lannister probably has ability close to Messi, but he doesn't have the
mentality
and the discipline. That's why you look at it's like Messi and Ronaldo, like to do that for over a decade. I mean,
and not to mention this. Look, I'll say this. Look,
gentlemen.
Yeah.
They've
done this for over a decade. Why can't you give me a World Cup?
Because it's possible.
Because no player. Dude, look, you know why?
You know why he should? Because they're not that good to win the World Cup. That's the harsh reality.
No. Look, I'll respond.
We were lied to. It's a media campaign. We were lied to.
No, I'll respond. If both of them win, if both of them win the World Cup, you're basically describing the 2 most perfect players in history. That's impossible. If they win the World Cup, they literally completed. They would be not only the greatest footballers, they would be the greatest sportsmen in history ever by a large distance.
Oh my God! Relax with the exaggeration, bro. Come on, man.
First of all, I think the World Cup today is like I said. I don't think it has any apart from like semifinals. But as far as legacy, defining legacies, I don't think the World Cup means anything.
It's a Champions League. Look at Griezmann. Look at Griezmann.
Jujuman.
I can respond. Because if you look at when during Pele times and Maradona, like no South American teams, like South American League was good. It wasn't only Europe, but so the teams were. You had all the teams that were good, like Argentina, Uruguay were good, Brazil were good. So you had these teams. It was. World Cup then was like Champions League now. That's why.
Wait. Okay, so basically, Jujuman. Yeah. So your argument is, right now the World Cup, the level isn't very high.
No, and this.
No, don't say that. Because if you say that means he's gonna say it should be easier for them.
No. All of a sudden, okay, Jujuman. So are you saying that the level of the World Cup now isn't very high? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying you need it. Your chances of winning is not. It's not dependent on your.
No, Jujuman, I'm just asking a very simple question. Jujuman, I'm asking a very simple question. Are you saying that the quality and the footballing quality in the World Cup isn't as high as the Champions League? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's inferior.
My response to that is this.
Yep.
If it isn't so high, and these two guys have won so many Champions League. Surely it should be easy
They're
for
in
them
their
to win.
30s, bro. They're 30. They're 35. They're 35, bro. They're
First of
35.
all, no, not even that. First of all, name me any player. I'll put him to play for. Let's say St. Petersburg Zenit and expect them to win a Champions League. That's what you're essentially doing. That's what you're essentially doing. You're telling them to win with teams that historically they've been good, but the players are not. We all know this team.
Double H. Answer me this.
Let me take the super chat because this is related to what we're saying.
Yeah.
So, man, look, I have an idea how we've been long into this. So, Ebe Miranda, thank you for the super chat, dear sir. Give Cristiano and Messi O2 Germany, Brazil level of talent
Exactly.
for winning. Now,
Exactly.
Let me respond. Coming into the 2018 World Cup, who were the European champions?
Dude, they won it by defending for their lives, bro.
Let me land.
You have to take context. You have to take context.
I'll give you the platform. Let me land. Hey, let me land, please. Coming into the 2018 World Cup, who were the European champions? That was Portugal. Coming into the 2010 World Cup, who were the European champions? Spain. Who won the 2010 World Cup? Spain. Coming into the 2000 Euros, who were the defending champions? Those who were the Cup champions. France. Who won the Euros? It was France.
This is the worst argument I've ever seen in my life.
That Portugal team, the European champions, were good enough to at least make the final of that World Cup.
No, they weren't. Dude.
As for Messi, you have arguably the most talented attack in history. As for Messi as well, 2014, you had a coach with the perfect attack that took you to the final, and you flopped. So there are no excuses there. I'm sorry.
Wait, let me respond. Let me respond. First, dude, how can you say Portugal were? You should expect Portugal to go to the final when they literally they won that Euros by defending with their lives. There was no tactic. There was no talent.
Yeah,
it was literally 10 men behind the ball, and then.
So you mean it was fluke, right? You mean it was
dude?
Fluke,
it was Greece-esque. It was a miracle that they won. Dude, and not to mention Double H. I want you to answer this. Name me two world-class players from Portugal's national team from 2007 to 2016. Two world-class players apart from Cristiano
and Pepe.
Pepe.
Name me another one.
Nani was close to world class. Nani was good. Nani was close to.
Please. No.
I want Charisma.
Charisma world class. Come on.
Nani, Charisma, Moutinho.
Moutinho was never world class. I'm sorry. Yeah. See, dude, he was playing with scrub. This is why, dude. If you look at Cristiano, he played, dude.
No, wait. 2002, R9 have like 2-3 world class players. Even Ronaldo have. Pepe,
no, dude,
Nani.
Yep.
No, wait. Ricardo Charisma. I mean,
Pepe,
the Ronaldo one.
It's bro, only Pepe. It's only Pepe.
Bro, the way Ronaldo played 2014 World Cup. Oh my God, he was.
Dude. Look, this is what I have to say. This
like you can't put Cristiano in the same category as you simply just can't. R9 is on a different planet.
Dude, give Cristiano Ronaldo. Give Cristiano.
Messi was asked in 2018 World Cup as well.
All you guys are giving me is just consistency.
No, it's not consistency. Double H. What you
only thing is consistency. Wait. Okay. Let me ask you guys then. Give me a great clutch moment with a high degree of difficulty.
For Messi, I mean
from either Messi or Cristiano, a clutch moment, high degree of difficulty. Because do you know what degree of difficulty?
The Spain free kick one. The Spain free kick
is.
Yeah, what's the
Spain free kick?
Is you're coming off a career-ending knee injury.
Yeah, and both of them missed penalties as well. Wow.
Career-ending knee injury, and in a semi-final and a final, you're within a team who are getting outplayed by the opposition, and you take it upon yourself to get that goal. Go on, look at Ronaldo's goal in the O2 World Cup. Totally created by himself, out of nothing. Give me an example.
Dude, he was playing against China, bro. He played China.
Messi and Cristiano coming clutch in a moment of high degree.
I have a question as well. I have a question, right? H, I have a question, right? Please. Because I want to touch this topic as well. Okay, Ronaldo and Messi, right? I mean, they have been played so many Champions League finals and everything, right? Were they really the best players for the Champions League final, the biggest competition? I mean, the biggest stage of the season, I believe. You know, when you reach the Champions League final, who was the best players for the team? Let's be honest. 2009.
What are you?
Eto.
Muntali, what?
Wait, Muntaha. Look,
mean,
wait.
Ronaldo to yeah, were they really best players?
Wait. No, wait. Let's. Oh my gosh, let's go deep. 2017 final where Cristiano scored both goals. What was the final score? It was 4-1. So did Cristiano ever score the key goal?
Dude, you know that Juventus had the best defensive record in Champions League history going to that game.
Yeah, that's what I'm giving credit to Modric. No, wait. That's what I'm giving credit. Yeah, exactly. Cristiano's fucking goals. Did you saw the assist? Did you saw the interruption? No, wait.
Guys,
allow me. Please. Okay? Did you saw the interception Modric made and gave him the cross assist between the Bonucci and Chiellini? Cristiano just came and tapped and scored. Did you saw the?
Did you see the first goal?
Yeah. Okay, wait. Did you saw the flipping? I mean, the idea of Carvajal for the low cross.
Oh my God! What idea? All he had to do was cut it down.
No. That's not true. Okay, wait, bro. There was a video of Juventus player. Okay, what's his name? De Chilio, right? I mean, he was struggling to make that kind of cross, that kind of like cross on the same wavelength. I mean, he was struggling. Let's be honest over here. Okay, wait. Where was Cristiano in 2014 Champions League final? Where was Cristiano in 2016 Champions League?
You do
final?
know. Wait.
No.
Can I explain? Can I explain?
Go ahead.
Okay, before I explain, I just want to say I thought the rules for this hangout was you are not allowed to take crack before this hangout. And Double H and Montana, both of you have definitely taken.
Wait, same goes for Messi. But I'm going to criticize Messi as well for the finals. I mean, was he really good in 2009 final? Was he really great in
2009 final? Look, 2009
bro, I'm not a hypocrite like UFG. I'm really like, you know, like
no. Look, I'll give you.
Bro, you know what? Where credit is due, you have to give credit. You know what? Who's been always the best final player for Real Madrid? It's Gareth Bale. Like he's been so many times, he's been clutch for Real Madrid as well. 2014, Di Maria, Sergio Ramos, right? For Barcelona, it's Eto'o, Xavi. You know, so many times. I mean, Neymar, Luis Suarez. I mean, in the final as well. Let's be honest over here.
I mean, it's common sense.
Let me touch that as well.
Look, if you reach a final so many times, it's normal that other players will like outshine you in those moments. You can't expect a player to be in the best player in the final every single time.
Exactly, but wait. In World Cup, you just get one chance. In World Cup, you get one chance.
Wait,
FG. And online shine.
Wait, FG. This is the quick question. In what Champions League final, since he never made a Euro final or a World Cup final?
He made a Euro final. He made 2 Euro finals. What are you talking about?
But he got in.
He played 2004 one. He played 2004.
Fair enough. Name me a World Cup final, Euro final, or Champions League final where Cristiano scored either the winning goal or the only goals in the game.
Dude, it's not fair because
There we go.
No, because Madrid just gets a job done.
Hatred. This is the problem with Ronaldo, Messi fanboys. No, hatred. This is the problem with Ronaldo, Messi fanboys. When their players lack in some, they're not ready to accept that. This is the problem.
I am ready to fully say that Ronaldo, of course, he was a Champions League flop. 100% he was a Champions League flop. But the thing that people don't understand is that ask any player, they would rather choose a World Cup than a Champions League. If you could choose one, you'd rather win a trophy recognized by the planet than a Champions League because the World Cup is the most watched competition on the entire planet.
Wait, the World Cup is not relevant anymore. Like it's not like he doesn't. Like if Messi, I'll speak. If Messi goes to another World Cup, it's not a big deal.
Okay, Jujuman, why is it that Messi is quoted as saying that he would trade in all of his medals for one World Cup? Why did he say that?
Because he's brainwashed by the media. Like they brainwashed him. Like they're bringing up hype about the World Cup. Look, he doesn't have the team. If he had the team, then if you had the team, then okay.
Wait, but they reached the final in 2014. How can you not have the team when he reached the final in 2014?
Let's be honest. They gave him an easy. Let's be honest. They gave him.
But wait. Didn't miss the one-on-one chance on his strongest foot in the World Cup final? He missed one-on-one chance, bro. I mean that's
because he missed one. Everyone misses one-on-one chance.
No. That's the biggest opportunity of his career to end the debate for the GOAT in all this argument, bro.
Wait, guys, look at this. We're nitpicking Messi and Cristiano's career. I can do the same for R9. How this dude's only been in the for like 4 years.
But he showed up. No, wait. He showed up in the World Cup. Wait. R9 showed in the World Cup. FG. Listen to me, bro. Okay. R9 showed up on the biggest platform. He showed up.
Dude, but you just agree with me and Juju that the Champions League is the hardest.
No. I'm not saying it's the hardest platform he showed up. I'm saying the biggest platform he showed up.
Look, I don't care if he done the biggest. I want to see him doing the hardest, the most difficult place. Look, and he didn't do it.
Oh no, let's be honest. Like, jokes aside, let's be honest. We all know like Messi's the GOAT. Like, and
no, Ronaldo's the GOAT. Cristiano's
the GOAT. Juju man.
The rest is just like
okay, Juju man. You say he's the GOAT. How can you be the GOAT with no World Cup and no World Cup knockout goals? That makes no logical sense.
Dude, you're nitpicking though. You're nitpicking.
No, it's no, guys. You can't just change the rules.
It's not changing the rules.
No, but double H. I thought we all agreed.
Guys, wait. You can't just wait, guys.
No, we have to be realistic. We have
to
be
realistic. Guys, you can't just wake up and say a competition that has been seen as the main, most important competition since the 30s. You can't just say, oh, since Messi and Cristiano are crap in the competition but good in this one, this competition doesn't matter anymore. You're just changing the arguments to suit your players and to suit your...
We do it because you cannot say someone is a GOAT. Like R9's club career is atrocious. I swear Benzema has better club career than R9.
No. Juju man, that is why if you ask me who the GOAT is, R9 isn't the GOAT. He's just my favorite player. But Juju man, do you know who the GOAT is? In my view, the GOAT is Maradona.
Where's the Champions League?
First of all, I think the Maradona one. People that back Maradona, this man has been using performance enhancement drugs, so he's disqualified. Like,
not to mention, he was in Napoli. Napoli are a historic city known for doing rituals, witchcraft, and all that. So
look! Oh my God! All those superstitious beliefs, bro. Now
we all know, like Maradona, he sniffed. He sniffed. You all know. So the fact that no one says anything, everyone just ignores and push it under the table and say, "What a great player!" And we all know he did. He did.
Bro, but Juju man, wait.
Wait, double H.
Wait. FG, wait. But at the end of the day, Ronaldo, Messi, they have, out of all those UCL finals, they have showed up just in one, and which is not enough to solidify their status as a out-to-out greatest player. Yeah, best player, we can have the argument, but not for the greatest.
Wait. So double H. You said Maradona is the greatest.
Yes.
Dude, I could literally come up and say Pele is the greatest. He destroyed club football. He was amazing. 1,000 goals, 3 World Cups. That's greatness. He should be undisputed greatest player of all time.
No. But do you know why I say Maradona over Pele? Is I need the footage of what he did for Santos.
There is footage, man. Didn't that guy in the hangout yesterday said he has 6 hours of footage?
Which he's smoking crack.
DM that guy.
No. So my thing is that I have questions over, and also I'm going to release a video is coming very soon about Pele very soon, because I've got questions about the whole Santos thing. By the way, I just want to answer this one here. You can say what you want about Messi, but they would never have made that final without him. Rodney, I think you need to watch the 2014 World Cup semi again, where Messi did literally nothing, and it was Mascherano's tackle on Robin that stopped them from losing the game. That's Mascherano.
Look, I'll say this. I'll say this though. If you want to win an international tournament, you got to have a great defense. And Messi, look, man, that defense was rock solid. Like all he needed was like one good chance. And I think if they scored first in that final, I think they would have won the whole tournament.
And another thing is they needed a proper coach. I mean, the coach was good, but I don't know why he removed Lavezzi.
Oh yeah, Lavezzi. Yeah. He moved Lavezzi for what? Aguero in the halftime.
And he removed him. I'm not sure what he was doing. And then with Higuain, Higuain had it's Higuain. I wasn't expecting him to score. But with Messi, he just needed one clean chance. And Götze, go.
But Juju man. But I cannot still forgive Messi for that strong foot, bro. Bro, if it would be in La Liga, that's goal. What he missed in the World Cup final, bro. Literally, when Messi fans keep on blaming Higuain, for the miss all those chances. Okay, his shit player, his crap player, right? Okay, how come you miss the one-on-one chance on your flipping strong foot, my friend? And come on, man, we all know football. If ball is on your strong foot, at least you'll hit on the target, bro. He didn't even hit the ball target. Let's be honest. Let's be honest over here. He cracked under pressure. Let's be honest.
He cracked under pressure. That's look. First of all, everyone has an off day mentality. Like we've seen Mbappe miss one-on-one. Like we've seen a lot of players miss one-on-one. So
but Juju, man, I get you can miss one, I guess, but the fact still remains that on the biggest stage where it's really mattered, these dudes flopped.
Wait, double H. I'm telling
you can't. Right now, no. See, my thinking is that greatness is when the pressure is at its highest and the entire world is watching. Can you deliver? The World Cup final is a more higher pressured situation than a Champions League final.
Dude,
you know why?
Dude, Cristiano can do it.
It's not high pressure because of the level of difficulty. It's high pressure because of it's rare. It happens only once. If it happened every year, it would be as high of pressure.
And that's the thing. So a competition that happens every year where you're in a super stacked, star-studded team. Sorry, that is a far.
Wait. So what about this? What about this double H? Pogba. Look at Pogba and Griezmann. Great for France. When it comes to club level, they stink it up every single week. So who are you saying? No. Griezmann showed up in the Euros. He showed up in the World Cup. By your logic, he should be a great player.
Wait, FG, because does Pogba got enough chances to play in the best team? No. So how can you expect him to win UCL to show up? He got the chance to play in the good French team, and he won the World Cup.
No, he had a good Juve team, but he stuck it up against.
No, but wait, that team can beat Emerson. Let's be honest over here. Of course, Emerson was superior team.
What about Griezmann? He had an amazing Euros in 2016. He had a great World Cup in 2018. But he stinks it up. By Double H logic, he should be a great. He should be a great player.
Didn't Griezmann score 4 penalties in the World Cup? And one
he didn't score 4. He didn't score 4 penalties, but but he scored. Dude, he scored a brace in the final.
Wait. He scored penalties. Wait.
He scored a free kick and a penalty.
That's deflection?
That doesn't matter. He still scored.
What do you mean by score, bro? That's deflection, bro.
He opened the scoring. He scored in a World Cup final. That's all that matters.
Wait. Pretty much depending on the luck, for the deflection. Let's be honest with you. That's luck. That's a luck factor. And secondly, he scored all the penalties. So okay, now you want to give me Griezmann credit?
I'm not giving a guy credit for penalties, bro. Sorry, bro.
You're just picking and choosing now. You're picking and choosing.
Moments, yeah, Double H, you're picking moments to criticize players. Like Messi, we all know. Even God knows Messi's the greatest. Like we all know that. Now,
but Judgman, you keep dodging the question. You say he's the greatest. Why is he so garbage at World Cups? That makes no sense.
Because
he's garbage. He's crap. At World Cups, he's crap. I'm sorry. He's like when it really matters, he ghosts. He disappears. He's crap.
It doesn't wait. Double H. What?
You know why? Look at his stats. Before. Messi is the reason Argentina played in the 2018 World Cup. This is not like a opinion. This is a fact. Like, look at his numbers. Look at Argentina's numbers without Messi, and look at it.
Wait. To add to that, you want to talk about Double H? You want to talk about? Wait, Double H. You want to talk about showing up international stage? Okay, I'll show you in history. Portugal before Cristiano, they made 3 World Cup appearances. 3 World Cup appearances in like 50 years. Only 3. Ever since Cristiano Ronaldo became a star, they made 4 consecutive World Cup appearances, 4 consecutive Euros appearances. They made it to every single tournament, and they won 2 international trophies under him. They've never done that before, dude. So how can you say he's an international like a brick or something when he did something that even you say?
No. FG. Here's the international break. Okay, I mean, people get. Messi, Ronaldo gets award for what you did, but you're not the best in your. I mean, as an international career, that's okay. You have goals, but that's not enough, you know. Okay, you have 1 trophy. I mean, Ronaldo have 1 trophy, which is like, okay, I give him like
dude,
for the miracle. For the miracle, I give you that. But still, that's not enough for the international
what I'm saying
argument.
is how can
You cannot use that.
Dude, look, what I'm saying is you can't expect Cristiano to win a World Cup because it's unfair. Because Portugal historically are a small nation. Let's be honest, they're a small nation. I can name you 10 nations bigger than Portugal.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I think the club record is just the consistency in the last decade.
No. Basically, as Muntaha said, call these guys club goats. Call them the best club players ever.
International football is not relevant anymore.
Dude, but club football. Let me ask you this, Double H. What would you rather have? You can only choose one. If you choose one, the other goes away forever. Club football or international football. You can only pick one.
Oh my God! For my country, of course, international then.
Okay, so good luck watching.
No. Wait,
4 games a year.
Prestige for me.
FG, that statement doesn't make any sense.
No, it does.
Because of course we want to have football all the time, and also if we now picked international football, then we'd obviously have more international tournaments. But the fact of the matter is that club football is needed because that is what you do as an employee. It's like a company. And a company can't pay you.
First of all, Ronaldo, Messi, Real Madrid, and Barcelona have invested €1 billion. Are you kidding me?
Okay,
€1 billion behind you, bro. €1 billion.
Wait, Munta and Double H. So you're trying to tell me the Nations League is bigger than any?
Did I say that? No. International football for me, bro. That's the problem. You're gonna ask me for me. No way, Euros. I mean, Copa Americas. World Cups, bro. I mean, wow, massive tournaments. At least.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys this. If Cristiano wins the Champions League with Juventus,
first ask the question. Didn't Real Madrid invest €1 billion? Didn't Real Madrid invest €1 billion? Didn't Barcelona invest €1 billion for Messi and Ronaldo? Please, can you answer?
No. Answer this. If Cristiano wins a Champions League with Juventus, is that a bigger accomplishment than him winning the Euros with Portugal?
No.
I think it is, to be honest.
No.
Okay, so let me say the super chat from Promo. Messi's best chance of a World Cup was in 2006. Yes.
No way, bro. There was better teams though.
But let me say, I think now that's a complicated question. You see, Messi, remember, he wasn't really old enough.
He was on the bench too.
He was actually coming off the bench. But Argentina's team in 2006 is probably one of their best things that they've ever had.
No, but there was better teams out there.
His best chance was in 2014. His best chance was in 2014.
And one thing with international football is so like I'll get hate, but I don't care. International football is so irrelevant. They give any guy you seriously need just to
see that's the thing though. Double H, you don't get it. Double H, let's ask you. Look, if people
tier 3 managers get jobs in international football.
Look, if they cancel the Euros, the Copa America, the World Cup, no one will give a damn. No one would give a damn.
No one cares. And if the one and everyone, why it's international football is so irrelevant? It's because you see these managers like Diego Maradona got a job as a manager. Come on, like you think any club what like come on.
Dude, not to mention the managers that go to the international jobs are the ones that are at their end. The managers only go to the international jobs when they're retired. When they're retired, when they're literally dead.
They just get to collect a check. Like seriously,
look at Mourinho. Look at Mourinho. In 5 years' time, he could be the Portuguese manager. But why should I care? He's dead. He's got nothing to give to the game. He's not gonna bring any new ideas.
Exactly. You do not go to international football Like if you are really good at managing.
Actually, let's do this. Actually, last two questions here before we leave this because I've got a head. Should Eder be celebrated more than Cristiano for that Euro?
No, you know why?
Yeah, by the way,
you know what? I agree with him.
When Eder was coming on, when Eder came on, Cristiano
Scored the winning goal, though. Scored the winning goal in the final.
Eder scored the winning goal. Eder even said that after the game. So,
but still, who scored?
Wait. And
can
we give credit to Cristiano? He was the coach in that final, encouraging the team.
yeah.
Coach.
Encouraging isn't coaching.
He was
shouting. Shouting and waving your hands.
Motivation.
Shouting and waving your hands isn't coaching. Okay, wait. Let me hit this one. Only few nations have won the World Cup.
Yeah, eight out of 200 countries, bro. That's small.
In the last 5-6 years. In the last 5-6 years, how many clubs have won the Champions League?
It goes every year, bro. What the hell are you talking about?
But Double H, another thing though, another argument. How many teams have reached the final? No. How many teams have reached the final in the Champions League? Like we don't even have to go the entire time. Only in the last 20 years. In the last, let's say even the last 4 years. In the last 4 years, it's
so many different teams
in that final. I mean, aside from the Madrid one, which doesn't happen always, but it's usually different teams.
Juju, you know that. Juju, you know that. We cracked that tournament, bro. We have a formula for the tournament. You know that. Come on, man.
No, like with Madrid, I don't think people understand. There is a lot of luck involved. Like in this Champions League, either luck or corruption involved. It's like
okay. Look, on that note with corruption, I'm out, man. Okay, guys, we'll see you guys next week. We'll see you guys next week.
Yakubu is still a Nigerian